2, it's now 9-8, Stevie. The comeback, you are sliding.
No, but you're in trouble now because Manchester United are out of the predictions for a while, as are the Lions. So all my emotional picks of backing United to win and the Lions to win, that's finished now. So now emotion's out of it.
And at least we'll both predict the Proteas to win the World Cup. So we both in that boat sinking together.
One prediction a week is going to be basically the best of a bad prediction.
We can start to use our brains.
I can actually start demonstrating my sporting prowess now, not just my unashamed bias towards my local teams, which are buckling.
Must be biased. There must be bias. This is why we're sports fans, bro. And speaking of this weekend's fixtures and a bit of bias, Stevie, let's dive right into the last weekend of the URC, because I know I was giving the boys a lot of shit on on Saturday. I missed the Stormers game, but when I saw the result, I didn't realize. I mean, we completely wrote off Ospreys. We've done this podcast a complete disservice, just not even mentioning them in this top 8 race. Really, we had ruled them out.
They deserve to be ruled out. They should never have been in there for. They should never. Even the Ospreys fans are like, I don't know what we're doing there, guys. I don't know how we managed to do this.
Yeah, well, I saw the Stormers beat the Lions, but it wasn't like a massive win. Still getting a losing bonus point at that. So I was like, okay, well that should be enough, because I saw Edinburgh got clapped by Benetton.
Well, that was the thing. Nobody expected the Edinburgh to get no points.
Yeah.
I said there was going to be a high-scoring game between the Stormers and the Lions, which it was threatening to be. And
it was decent. You still, 20 something.
But I was expecting to see both
40s,
teams walking away with bonus points and stuff like that. And if there's one bloody game that Cardiff could just not be useless and win.
Oh,
maybe
it was such a good game. Such a good game. Even with that Tipperick try. Oh my word! I think that could be try of the season. I mean, what a finish! Like the hands to get it down, the offloads, and then just because it's Tipperick who finishes it off, it's like there's nothing more likeable about that oak than anyone else in Wales for me. But Stevie, commiserations, and I was receiving a little bit of hate when I found out that that was the Ospreys that snuck ahead of you on Saturday. I did find quite amusing at the time, but so let's quickly just get through some of the results and where that leaves us with the top 8. First of all, Leinster getting the job done, beating Connacht on Friday night in kind of mostly a second-string team, 1 or 2 first-team, typical Leinster first-team players slotting in there. And at that point, they were actually sitting top of the lob, I believe.
Yeah.
So it meant that the Bulls and Munster had to show up, which they both did. Bulls beating the Sharks 26 points to 14, despite the Sharks playing a very strong side, but I think they were all severely hungover and dehydrated.
Well, Sharks played well, to be fair. I think there were times where Bulls didn't look as convincing as Bulls have over the season. Their front row decimated the Sharks front row, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Something that you really want to see as a Bulk fan. I saw somebody the other day talking about our Oxford chair. There's question marks over him. I said, dude,
No. Calm down.
The recency bias. I think that's my pet hate in sports fans.
And he's just won the Sharks ever international tournament.
Yeah, he single-handedly won us the English game last year. We would not be world champions if it was not for Oxford Chair's efforts in that World Cup.
For me, he's the best number 1 in the world at the moment, like form. So I'll choose that recency bias over the last match he's played.
Yeah. After spending a week on the brandy.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think we can put it down to that, not anything else. But then Glasgow also getting it done versus Zebre, not all too convincingly, to be fair, 38 points to 26. Zebre, to be fair, they've been scoring a lot of points this season, just not quite enough to get enough wins under the belt. But promising signs, to be fair, could see a little resurgence as we have seen.
Much better than the season before. I think at least they're competitive sides. You go there, and if you're not at your best, they can take points off you, which is nice.
I feel like the noticeable teams to go backwards this season have been Dragon Scarlet Sharks and Zebra. They finished last,
and
1-1 draw, and it doesn't look pretty. and Connacht. But I think Connacht, they were still competitive. They still on outside charts could have made top 8. Zebra doesn't look pretty, but and neither does the negative 298 points against them. But I think there are a couple wins in that bottom half of the table.
Not the worst points difference.
No, it's not. It's not. That goes to the Drags, unfortunately, who
they were horrible this season.
Who went down to the Scarlets 32-15. And obviously a big one, big statement this weekend was Benetton versus Edinburgh, 31 points to 6. I mean, Edinburgh were just throwing that ball around like they just couldn't help but want to get it out wide, taking throw-ins early. I mean, Benetton largely just scored off of loose ball and counter-attacks because Edinburgh weren't holding on to the ball and almost trying to do too much. Something we've seen like the Stormers be a little bit guilty of more towards the beginning of the season. But very, very stoked for Benetton. That secured them a top 8 finish, coming 7th in the end, which is awesome to see because it's great to have representation from all the countries, because now we have Welsh, South African, Irish, and Italian all in the top 8, which is exactly what you want. It's what the tournament's about.
No, you don't. You want 3 South African teams in there. Don't come here with this. Oh, we want representation. No,
Brew. I'm sorry, Tipperick's my guy now. You guys got beaten to the chase. But the last 2 fixtures, Munster versus Ulster. Munster getting it done to secure number 1 spot. Close game though, 29 points to 24. So they are in pole position to have a home final if they get all the way through their quarters and semis. And then, of course, as we mentioned, Ospreys winning versus away to Cardiff, 33 points to 29. Stevie, I mean, you've obviously just slid out. You finished, so it ends, you're on the exact same amount of points as Ospreys, and you called it a while back. So Lions aren't going to go through because of the amount of wins under their belt, and that's exactly what happened. We're looking, you and Ospreys, both on 50 points. Your points difference is 128 to the better. Well, it's 120 points positive. Theirs is negative 35.
No,
you have 14 bonus points. They have 10. They just have that one extra win, and you have that one extra loss. So, I mean, it's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
It hurts, and I've been saying this constantly. It just sounds like sour grapes when I talk about it, but I really don't like the more wins thing. I'm a big advocate for points difference because it encourages you to try and be aggressive. It encourages you to try and score tries, go high, and I think that's what people keep sort of saying, that they want. I mean, even though all was about, ball and play, for example, encouraging attacking rugby, encouraging, cool, lots of points and stuff like that. So, more wins now, you look back and you think, okay, so there's certain games where, and the annoying thing is, I think this is what the Lions are trying to do in the last month. That was too late, where suddenly they started being far more conservative because I don't know if somebody just didn't tell them the rules. But all of a sudden we were taking 3 points a lot during these last few games instead of trying to push for the bonus point, trying to push for those 4 tries. And the same thing on Saturday, we had a penalty, about 50 minutes before the end. And right up against the touchline, took the points, missed it. If you had just kicked a goal, had a bit of momentum, playing against 14 men as well, scored a try there.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes later, had another thing right in front of the poles after we had just had like 17 phases of just literally being kept up by inches, had momentum, had it gone through about 10, 11 phases, looking really good. Didn't try to go for the try. Took the 3 points, conceded almost immediately off kickoff, and that was what was the difference in the end. So, from Angela Davis, you could just see it from a mile away. It was just coming. You just knew that balls floated and they were coming at pace. It was just always going to end badly. But I actually, to an extent, the person Lions would have wanted on the field the most, having gone playing against 40 men, is Nohamba. Yeah.
He's the one who's able to exploit the space the most. So as much as you had that advantage, I don't think you were able to necessarily take advantage of it because your creative player wasn't able to kind of unlock the space that was then open.
And frustrating that Mario Stowe yellow card. Look, I do think we need to review Angelo David's reaction from the push. I think it was a little bit over the top. But it was so stupid by Marius Lowe. You've just seen a tackle, which is a red card. Like, in real time, you're going, cool, that's it. That's them 14 men for the rest of the game. No need to engage. And to get a yellow card for that was frustrating, because there would have been I think it would have been about 34 minutes that the Storms would have to play without 14 men. And you then think, right, cool, we've got the momentum, one man advantage. You kick deep, you score there. You have Marius Lowe running into the midfield, drawing in.
You even just take points. Take points straight from where the hit was. That's exactly where you start squeezing straight away, put on points pressure against them. But I agree. I mean, he came in from steaming from like 50 meters away with a huge heave.
Yeah, he was fed up. He was just like, no,
he was seeing red.
Yeah, it didn't help that we had seen Raz McClellan also leave with a concussion, also knocked out earlier. That was his fault, Morgan, in terms of tackle technique. But I think emotions were high, and then you see a tackle like that, and you're cool. But it's annoying when he is the captain. I know he wasn't the captain at the time, but he has been the captain this season. So
I feel like he's your designated leader. He's like I think without him, I think he's your biggest person you'd miss were he to leave. I think he just brings in.
I mean, there is like an Ahamba and a Kieran Horn.
Yes, but I think the leadership abilities that he has and the way he's able to link and bring a bit more stability to a backline that's otherwise just got star players, who want to just be able to, play that free-flowing game that Sanala Nahamba and Kieran Horner becomes synonymous with. I think he brings, it's ironic that we're saying it now, but a little bit of level-headedness to it. And clearly, when he saw that hit on Nahamba, kind of lost his plot, which all people do. But I mean, now we've got the quarterfinals locked in, Stevie. We've got Munster hosting Ospreys this Friday. I mean, if you're Ospreys, you have nothing to lose. You haven't had anything to lose for the last little while. I mean, essentially they've managed to, just by grit and determination, whilst everyone, including us, wrote them off, have managed to get through to a quarterfinal. Now they're going away to the number one team. Take a bit of momentum with you. Munster, they finished the season off really well, but it's not like they blowout wins that they're getting, right? Yeah. They're not winning by big points. They're only winning like within 10. So, you know what I mean? Take a bit of momentum into that with you. You can always try cause an upset, but obviously you are 8th going up against first, so it's always going to be tough away from home. Then we have the Bulls hosting Benetton. I think this will be a really good game. It'll be interesting to see if Benetton can cope with the travel. They've just come back from South Africa, so now they're going all the way back. They've just done that little tour there. I mean, essentially that win over Sharks for them, getting them into top 8 as well. Massive away performance. So I think they'll take that confidence, knowing that they were able to do it versus a strong Sharks team, who are better than what the points suggest, or at least in this latter half of the season. And then Leinster, Ulster. Again,
I think Ulster. I mean, I look at Leinster. So unfortunately, I think it might be too much. But that Ulster side have had, for all of their struggles, they're starting to really come right in the last few weeks. And I think if they were playing anybody but Leinster, I would say that there was a very good chance for an upset.
Agreed. Because I think Leinster now they have to go full on for the URC, surely.
Well, they haven't won since COVID.
If they don't go full in on the URC, I want to hear every single person that questioned the Bulls about Champions Cup, lineups and not sending a good team out. Yeah. I want to hear every single one of them up in arms about Leinster if they don't play a full team. Because if they then it's
what I'd love to see
ridiculous.
is to see them lose because they had to go like away for the semi-final, like come down to Johannesburg and to Pretoria and then lose to the Bulls.
Yeah.
And so they're going, well, you could have had first, but you decided to send your academy team to South Africa. Where's the respect for the competition? Yep.
I mean, I heard earlier, I think Jamie Gibson Parker's played 3 URC games this season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Good if you the second scrum off at Leinster, but geez. But yeah, so Leinster will be hosting Ulster. Obviously, a really tough task for Ulster, and I do think Leinster they should play a really strong team because it's the last remaining one. It does feel a little bit weird that the Champions Cup comes before this. I do feel like it should be like the last game of the season, but like the Champions League final, the biggest game, the last game. Which is what's happened previously, which is why Leinster didn't respect this competition because they played a second string team because they were focusing on the Champions Cup. Now they have really lost that, so they can maybe now shift their focus. And then the last game, Glasgow Warriors hosting the Stormers, one Scottish team versus the traveling Stormers, previous winners, both back-to-back finalists. So Stormers obviously have very little chance now of getting another home game in the tournament unless there are a lot of upsets, which would mean that would be an absolutely insane URC finish if they managed to get another home game. But there are a lot of questions about South African teams' away form, Stevie. I wonder what your thoughts are now. Is that just a narrative, or have they kind of gotten to the point where they've matured into the Northern Hemisphere rugby and they can actually, compete?
Look, I think it's an interesting one. I don't think Stormers generally travelled very well. They've struggled, and I think a lot of it is condition based. When they go over and it's windy, it's wet. 4G pitches, for example. I think Stormers are a side that have struggled. I think certain sides are starting to adapt. I was very, very happy with what I've seen from the Lions this season away. We've been competitive and all, but I mean that Ospreys game, ironically, where the Lions just didn't pitch up. But I mean, they hammered Connacht away with 14 men. They were within 7 points to Edinburgh. They were within 7 points to, I forget who it was in that other tour. But the Lions have travelled very nicely so far this season. So I think
the Stormers started horribly. The Stormers started horribly. I think they lost their first 3 games, which were all away.
Yeah, they beat the Lions, and then they went on tour, and they
exactly. They lost to Cardiff, and I think they lost to Cardiff. Might have been Connacht. There were a couple, and all teams that we've probably finished above on the log, but weren't able to kind of get the job done. I forget. Glasgow, is that a 4G pitch?
I think it might be. I don't know where they're
playing. I don't think that suits us as much as we play a fast brand of rugby, and I think speed, you would think would be advantageous, but whenever I see a 4G pitch and South Africans playing on it, I'm just not convinced.
I think it is a 4G pitch.
I think you're right. I think it is. It's always those floodlights that don't seem quite bright enough as well.
I'm glad you said there are definitely certain amount of games when I watch in these smaller stadiums, and I'm like, I feel like
slide it up, folks.
I feel like I'm watching a university game. Like the old grade field.
This is a great field. Yeah. Bro, come on. It's like, just switch all the lights on. People need to come with phone lights. You know what I mean? Something, because it's not, it doesn't seem quite right when you can't really see who's on the opposite wing, and your number 11 is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be the roundup of the quarterfinals this weekend. So we're very, very excited for that. I think after that we'll have a really good idea of where we'll know where the semifinals will be and probably the likelihood of where the finals are. But Stevie, let's go into the English Premiership. We have a final this weekend and 2 blockbuster semifinals. Northampton just beating Saracens 22 points to 20, and Bath getting past Sales 31 points to 23. Big gap in the end, but a very, very close game right down to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you sign Finn Russell, this is what you get. You get Premiership rugby finals, as well as Thomas du Toit, obviously.
Thomas du Toit, who's their number 1 prop as well. He's been really good. I think he's been called up to the English side. That Bath team looks unbelievable. They're gelling, and I think this season has highlighted what a fly half can mean, and it's not just Finn Russell at Bath. There are a lot of players that are pulling weight there. But if you think the Sia Masuku example at Sharks and how that's turned, literally did a U-turn on their season. They couldn't have dreamed of actually winning the Challenge Cup before he came into form. And I saw last night at their awards dinners, he won a couple different awards. So just another kind of feather in his cap. But and then now Finn Russell, like being that fly half figure and just gelling the Bath team and getting into the semi-finals versus a Sale that's pretty much half South African at this point.
Yeah, look, I mean, Sale, they've always had a very strong South African contingent that did help when they signed Currie. They used to have a lot more when Lord Diago was obviously there. Faf de Klerk was obviously still there. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm just looking at Finn's stats here in the Premiership. He's got 144 points so far this season. He's averaging about 10 points a game. So he's made a big difference. There's no doubt about that. And I think he's also. I think he's such a mature player these days. I've always enjoyed Finn Russell, but he was always the maverick type of player. And I think these days he doesn't
always just want to be the hero now.
Yeah, he's just got such a good all round game these days. His defense has come in leaps and bounds. And his defensive awareness, not just his actual ability. I think he's now turned. For example, he's going to play all 3 British National Lions tests next year, and that's without a shadow of a doubt. So. Very keen to see how he goes in the final. I think that he could be the difference. It is obviously
it's Finn versus Finn.
Yeah, and Finn Smith was back. Was got into the team of the season. So he has been back. He has been basically chosen as the best fly half of the season. So it is, but Finn Russell was nominated. So you got your 2 form fly halves going up against each other, which is always a fun battle. We saw an incredible Premiership final last year. So I think it should be good fun this weekend.
No, it's massive, and the big one in Northampton versus Saracens was kind of Courtney Laws's final, last dance essentially for Northampton, coming through and just having played there forever, as it was Farrell's last game for Saracens. So those are like the 2 mavericks of each of those clubs, really kind of going toe to toe. I mean, we just saw a little bit of the unbelievable player Farrell is in the last moments of the game with that little assist grabber through. I mean, so good. And it's so funny. We were just chatting before this, Stevie, but it's so much easier now to be a Farrell fanboy now that he doesn't play international rugby, because I don't need to have the anger held back inside of me for when we play England so that I can hate him again. I don't have to reserve that hate now. I can just enjoy watching a good player play. It's going to be very, very interesting to watching up racing next season.
Yeah, I think, somebody the other day was talking about, name that one player you hate, but would love to have played for your country. And somebody said Owen Farrell, and I said, I said 100%. I said,
would love him if you're South African.
I love Andre Pollard as much as the next person, but, Farrell was made for Springbok rugby. Yes, can be dodgy in defense sometimes, inverted commas, but big physical presence at fly half. Goal kicking is second to none.
Listen, for the record, I would never replace Pollard with anyone. I'd never replace Pollard with anyone. But I do agree. He fits the mold so well, right? Yeah. Physical fly half who can kick, and leader. Leader has just an unbelievable pass. That flat ball of his just is something to behold.
So I think if it was South African, we'd all absolutely love it. And at the end of the day, you don't play 100+ tests by accident. You don't become one of the highest scores of British National Lions history by accident, and you don't become England's highest point scorer by accident. So he's an incredible rugby player, not popular in South Africa. And it's always funny because, I always see a different side of these players because going to the press conferences and meeting them and stuff like that. And he is one of those players who on the pitch, can be very unlikable. He's got a chirp in him. He's, sometimes his antics me a bit much, but he's a very, very down-to-earth person. There's no arrogance about him. Very nice. And give him his due, even last year after the World Cup, as soon as that final whistle goes, he'll give the credit to the other team. He'll never not want to complain at the final whistle about things that went wrong and stuff like that. He's very, very happy to give credit where credit's due.
It's a mask that these players have to pull on, right? They become what, like the animal, exactly, and that's exactly what he is. He knows exactly how to rile up the opposition team. He's leading the cheers when English win the penalties and stuff like that. And that, as when you're watching as opposition, it's the worst. And I wouldn't necessarily want South African teams to be necessarily cheering at every single penalty like the English have been in the last couple of years. But it was exactly what it was. Because of that, it was the closest they came to beating the Springboks, who were eventually the World Cup champions. And he led that English team to what would have been probably one of the biggest, World Rugby or Rugby World Cup shocks we would have ever seen. And they were only a couple of points up from it. So unbelievable Saracens career for him. I think he got 5 premiership titles to his name. 2 Champions Cups. So, he's not falling short, and Russing will be lucky to have him. But obviously, taking him out of contention of English selection now,
but not out of contention out of British and Irish Lions.
Not out of British and Irish, which is what matters. Next year is going to be unreal. Hopefully, Australia can sort themselves out, and we'll know soon enough with those internationals coming up, which I'm so excited for. I feel I've been watching so much club rugby. I just want it feels like it's been about 2 years since 6 Nations, but also the Bokke. It feels like the Bokke won the World Cup 2 years ago. Jeepers, it's going to be unreal to see them, particularly with the home fans. But for this weekend, we can enjoy the last bit of knockout club rugby, obviously with the final. Northampton versus Bath, Twickenham this weekend, and then URC will be 2 weekends from now. Stevie,
Dan,
let's go.
We have to talk about every week we talk about football heritage.
Football heritage.
It had to
get into it.
It had to be, and it was also the most football heritage result in terms of them being largely outplayed with Real Madrid and Dortmund for a long time.
Dortmund were playing so much of the football, much football.
But you just don't beat Real Madrid in a World Cup final. You don't beat the Springboks in the World Cup final. I was going to make a comparison. You don't beat the Springboks in the World Cup final. You don't beat Real Madrid in the Champions League final.
Yeah,
there are things that it's just a foregone conclusion, really.
It's what makes the world go round. Unfortunately, I felt for me as soon as they beat City, they were going to be near impossible to beat. Even when with over 3 halves against Bayern were leading 1-0 with 30 minutes to play. It's just never done with them. One slip up from Bayern called the end into the final. I mean, we have to talk about that Adeyemi chance, trying to go around Courtois. I don't know. What are your thoughts on how he needs to take that?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? I mean, and it's so funny when you think about those split decisions. And I think whether it's sort of first time or tries to go. Look, Courtois played well as well. But it's funny how for all that it's a round ball, it's funny how the football goes when you think about that decision he made, and you look at Vinicius Junior's goal, which was let's be frank, a miss hit. Which bobbled over the keeper type thing. So it's funny how the luck turns. But I think he scores that. That's
if Adeyemi was wearing a white shirt with the Madrid crest on it, I think he would have scored that.
It's just
that's how the cookie crumbles.
The powers to be just determined that it's just
For me, I just think he came onto it. It was such a deep ball that no one really saw it coming. And Courtois had done so well because he was actually quite set. I first thought he was running at him, and if he's moving, then you just need to take it first time. But he had actually set himself quite early and quite far out to put a lot of pressure on Adeyemi. But I just think he took it the wrong way because his momentum was going towards the right-hand side. If you're going to go around him, go on your right-hand side. You're going to be so much faster that way if you take a touch around. You also protect the ball with your body that way. So if Courtois goes for you, it's a pen. Easy to say, sitting in a chair here, and when you're not in the stadium.
I would have finished it at the end of the day,
We would have been faster than him. We would have been a better finisher than him.
Yeah, I probably would have chipped Courtois. The taller. Straight over the top.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Fulkrug hitting the post as well, and then scoring that offside goal. When they scored that, I was like, they're back. This is coming, and then obviously ruled out. But I saw a lot of disappointed Dortmund fans on my tube home on Saturday nights and walking around London on Sunday morning, and a lot of Hala Madrid jubilant fans. I mean, they are just record breakers, right? I mean, we talk number 16 for the club. I mean, Tony Cruz, what a farewell! You can't ask for anything better, and not just winning it, but winning his 6th, along with Modric, Nacho, and Carvajal, who also scored the first goal of the game in a header. Of all things, you wouldn't expect him to do that, being quite short in stature. And then 5 for Ancelotti, and if you add his 2 as a player, taking him up to 7. I mean, it's just these are ridiculous numbers and in the last, that's their 6th Champions League in the last 11 years. So you're talking about 1 season on, 1 season off. That's above 50% conversion rate of Champions Leagues just taking part to winning. I always said I was such a Messi fanboy that there was a point where I believed that Barcelona were the bigger club. Boy, was I wrong. No. It's just not even close.
There's just levels to the game. At the end of the day, Real Madrid well clear of Barcelona, Man United well clear of Liverpool. There's levels. There's
okay.
You can try.
You just so relieved that Sabitzer and Sancho didn't win that. Oh, when Sabitzer gripped that one, I was like,
I think 50-50. I would have loved to have seen Marcel win a Champions League. I enjoyed him at United. I was quite keen to have him stay actually. But Sancho and his petulance must away.
Okay. Yeah. Easy to say now that he didn't have the final of his dreams, but it could have been a very different story had he come off on the day. But Stevie, so Real Madrid, you think with all the success they can just like continue to, you don't really have to change much. You're winning it, and they've only just gone and 2 days afterwards signed the best player in the world, in Kylian Mbappe. So is that just not the most Galactico signing that we've ever seen?
And ironically, they've been recently moving away from the whole Galactico approach. They've been trying to sign younger players,
the young stars,
the Vinicius, the Rodrigos, the Charmini, the Camavinga,
Tchouameni, Camavinga, and it's come off. It's worked, right?
They're not necessarily. I mean, Jude Bellingham was like one of their biggest high-profile signings, but I mean, you're talking about a 20-year-old as well.
They wouldn't have expected the season that he did have in their wildest dreams. To be fair, now it's not like Mbappe is by any means pushing time. I think he's still only 25, so you could still consider him a young signing.
But you're now signing someone who's like peak of their powers. Has won
arguably the best player in the world.
Yeah, no, he is. I mean, to replace Karim Benzema, won a Ballon d'Or, you have a season without him, you cope because Jude Bellingham decides to go and become a second striker.
Yeah.
You bring in Rosselló.
It's ridiculous. We're saying right at the beginning of the season that if there's a time to beat Madrid in the Champions League, it's this one. They don't have a striker.
Yeah.
They didn't. And they didn't. They just played Jude Bellingham out of position and he became good at it. Just chose to become a cam, which
that was Don Carlo. Hey, even I don't know if you watched any of the post match, but they interviewed Jude and he said, what can you just talk about Ancelotti? And he said he's unlocked a part of his game he didn't know he had in his goal scoring ability. He was like, as far as he was concerned, he was a midfielder. That's kind of what he does. But Ancelotti said no, he's closer to the goal he is to better. And I mean, look how it's worked. So the Don Carlo strikes again, and now you've got to add Kylian Mbappe into that side. It's just
where do you play him? Through the middle, on the left? Do you play Vinny through the middle? Because you're looking at Vinny and Mbappe, the two of the top 3 best players in the world, both left wings.
No,
I think both of them are
through the middle.
Play Mbappe through the middle.
I think they will, yeah.
I guess that is where Mbappe played when he was with Neymar and Messi at PSG as well. So that does make sense.
And then drop Jude a bit, and then Jude in behind.
To be fair, I still kind of think Jude's best position is a little bit deeper and doesn't really make sense now that they've just gone and won the Champions League. But I don't know if I'll be interested to see where he plays in the Euros for England. Because
I think he's so young.
England have a lot of it.
I'll tell you options. I think you'll drop a bit deeper in England. I think also England have got Declan Rice. So when you've got arguably the best CDM in the world, you can, and he's so disciplined as well.
A huge call. I don't think he's
who are you putting ahead of him
in the world? Camavinga, Tchouameni.
It was the best this weekend.
Yeah, I know.
He was also in and out. Yeah.
and I still think he's probably better than Declan Rice. But anyways, let's not get into that debate. But yeah. No, well, he covers grass, that look. He can run, and he's a beast. He's got a good long ball in him.
The DM and CDM, I don't think is better. I think Tramini's full of energy, and I think Camavinga's got a great passing game, a better passing game. But I don't think anyone's as disciplined as Declan Rice is in front of a 4, which allows your other midfielders to really roam.
Rodri,
so I think that's
I haven't even mentioned, but yeah.
Rodri with those stats that he's never been, he hasn't been beaten like all these like you've seen that whole thing where like he hasn't been beaten in like 50, 60 games, and you go look at those last 50, 60 games, and he's literally been beaten in some of them. It's like the weirdest stats. It doesn't make sense. Like they've lost games, they've gone out of like things, and the stat continues to like he's just undefeated in all these like games he's lost.
He's never lost a game. Yeah. But yeah, essentially it's just somehow Madrid, in theory, are going to be better. I mean, we've seen it before where you add stardom to already good teams and it doesn't work. I would be surprised if this ends up in being one of those scenarios.
Yeah, I think
it's hard to see how
he scores 30 goals.
It doesn't work in any team.
No, he scores 30 goals next season, maybe 40.
Yeah, and if you're Barcelona or Atletico, you're also thinking of Liga. It's like, jeez, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
Like now, it's like Mbappe. Cool, you got Mbappe. Now I've got like a 35-year-old Lewandowski. You know, it's like
he's world class. But you're going like, well, I mean, this is the thing. Madrid have got a team that can win everything for years to come. You know, Curse is retiring, but you've got Tchouaméni coming through. You've got Camavinga coming through. They just added Endrick as well, by the way. You know, this like the next big Brazilian wonder boy who's backing up Mbappe. So, you know, the depth that they've got is childish.
No, it is ludicrous. It'll be interesting to see of these players, or obviously the ones representing their countries in Europe, the Mbappe's, Bellingham's, how that form continues there, because that always gets us excited for the it's a bit of preseason essentially for clubs, and that's starting the weekend after next. First game's Germany versus Scotland, but we'll get into that properly next week when there'll be a lot of buzz around it.
I love the Euros though. It's signing season now for the clubs. You know, who's going to be that? You know, we'll
start a little rumor mill segment for the transfers in the coming weeks, and we'll give you the highs and lows of that.
I love to see who's going to be that player that no one's really heard. Who's going to be the Locatelli of this tournament, you know, where like you go into the tournament and you kind of know these players, but one player just has an absolute blind, and all of a sudden he's found himself at a decent team. You know that James Rodriguez flicking an entire career off one World Cup.
I mean, to be fair, even no one had really heard of Cody Gakpo until the last World Cup, and then Liverpool signed him.
That's what I'm saying.
Now he's kind of growing as a player as well.
Football's not hard. You just play for
peak at the right times.
Yeah, you play for a nation that's not necessarily expected to do well. You have a couple of big underdog stories, and you're the star of that team. So you play well for 3 or 4 games, and off you go. Asamoah Gyan, you know, all these lads who just pick the right tournament. You know.
Yeah. Big game players. To be fair, big game players. If you can do it at the World Cup, why couldn't you do it at club level? Maybe not a Colbert night at
question, to be fair. But Dan, speaking of big tournaments and big games, the Pros are winning the World Cup. We're on board with this, eh?
They are, Stevie. They are. Massive chase from the Proteas, having been set 77 to win. To be fair, I don't think anyone knew if they were playing in Adelaide or if they were playing in New York. And when I saw the tweet go out by the Proteas saying, Proteas secure W in New York, I was just like, that's just nothing I ever thought I'd see tweeted from any South African cricket accounts.
Before we even talk about the game, which commentary were you listening to? Did you have Dale Steyn and the Buggers?
I had Dale Steyn and Steve Smith.
And the baseball guy who had never played cricket before.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. The whole point of this tournament is to grow the game of cricket, which is also why they are involving, Oman, Papua New Guinea, Uganda.
And I understand you want to try and then have a local guy. Can we not find? I'm pretty sure most Americans know how baseball works. Could we not find an American guy who's actually played cricket?
Or just knows both sports.
Or just knows, I mean, And Dale stays in the comm box there, and he's sitting there like, yeah, guys. And he's listening to this guy talk about baseball, and he's like, and have you played cricket? And he's like, yeah, like I played some table cricket. And it's just like silence. And you could just, Dale must be sitting in the box going, what the hell have I signed up for here?
Yeah, no, it wasn't great. Like, I can see what they're trying to do. They're really trying to tap into that American audience. I hope whoever that guy has got a prolific following, because at least then hopefully he brings some
there must
viewers.
Be something. But even then, and they're talking about the stadium, and they're like, they asked him, so what was here before? Like, this is a temporary stadium. He's like, I don't know, maybe someone's favorite picnic spot. I was like, guys.
Yeah, no,
this is like the showpiece event of the year. Can we not at least be able to say this was a park before, and now look what this is?
Just get an American who's excited to be there, not someone who's never watched the sport and happens to play baseball, because it's not the same sport. There are a lot of comparisons you can draw between the two, but get someone who has played both and is passionate about both. Listen, maybe there's less than 5 of those, so they were shipping them across different parts of the World Cup right now, and we got the 6th. But essentially, as you said, let's tell the story. It wasn't. It is a completely new stadium. They've set up in a park, not Central Park, as apparently was also misquoted on commentary. It's not in Manhattan, but in New York nonetheless. And the pitch brought all the way from Adelaide. I would have loved to have seen how they actually did that, but naturally there isn't on a boat. Yeah, likely, I guess. DHL plane, who knows? But yeah, you could see. I mean, it was a bit of a rat trap, right? That scorecard. Sri Lanka being bowled out for 77, South Africa chasing it 80. 80 runs, but 4 wickets down in 16 overs. So you're talking and drawing, you can't even draw any comparisons to what it was like in the IPL, where everyone was going at over kind of scoring over 200. So complete rat trap of a pitch itself, and which begs the question kind of why Sri Lanka chose to bat first, because everyone kind of brought that into question, and it seemed to have backfired, because I think that was a massive decision in the outcome of this game.
Yeah, look, it was, and look, we bowled so well, and what was cool to see was that because it was a bit of a sticky pitch, that test match line that we just stuck to, on a good length, outside off. I mean, Oatmeal Bartman didn't miss a single ball. He was phenomenal.
Oatmeal, what a guy!
I mean, first ball of his World Cup.
First time playing cricket outside of South Africa, Stevie. First ball for the Proteas in a World Cup gets a stick. I mean, it's a story that writes itself.
Yeah, I mean, Anurag Nokia, everybody complaining about why is he in the squad? Should he be there? Bad form in the IPL, yada, yada, yada.
Clocking 150s.
Best T20 stats of all time, 4 wickets for 7 runs and 4, an economy of less than 2. It's a bit childish. KG looked at his best. Keshav was on a hat-trick, bowled nicely. Everyone, even, Marco Jansen, who was so expensive during the World Cup, bowled nicely as well. So it was, it's a difficult match to analyze, because it was a bad wickets. But at the end of the day, bowlers pitched up, and the batters got their job done. So, job done.
Yeah, I mean, Quinny, 20 runs of 27. That's a test match strike rates here.
Yeah, Stubbs 13 of 28.
13 of 28, Markram 12 of 14, Klaasen 19 of 22. These are not players that go below, strike rate of 100. But you could see, and it's kind of even, I think, Reza played a bit of a nothing shot at a swinging ball. Quinton just chipped his back to Hasaranga after doing well to kind of, I think, get to 20, just like kind of working through it, and a bit of a nothing shot. Stubbs, you could see it was tossed up, and he had to go and smash a cover drive there. Markram one's kind of popping up a little bit, and then Klaasen and Miller not getting out. But like you had to apply yourself, and you just have to be thankful that the bowlers did enough of a job, because I think another 30 runs could have made it a very, very tricky chase, because we only had 4 overs left, right? Like that, it would have forced us to play a couple more shots early on in our innings, and could have gone the other way.
Yeah, no. So I think that's the thing.
Because the Sri Lanka bowlers were good.
No, they were really good. I mean, Aiden Markham still, providing that shot of the day with a cover drive for 6.
He's just the best cover driver.
Yeah,
he's so good. Him and Vera.
Second only to him and those two second only to Laura Wolfart.
True.
But
True.
yeah, so look, at the end of the day, we got the job done. We're playing the Netherlands this weekend. We've got Bangladesh on Monday. In terms of how the format works, before we move on to a bit of tennis, is after the group stages, the top 2 teams across the 4 groups go into a different 2 groups. 4 teams there, top 2 then go into semi-finals and finals. So if we top the group, we'll probably play the likes of Pakistan, India, Ireland, potentially Australia, England. Those kind of teams will probably be in that waiting for West Indies, New Zealand, Afghanistan. Those teams potentially waiting for us in that second Super 8
second phase.
But Dan, we will talk about for you. It is tennis season. It is the French Open at the moment, and we are into quarterfinals this weekend. So some interesting ones. If we look at the men's draw, we've got Dimitrov and Sinner today. We've got Tsitsipas and Alcaraz as well. Massive. So my boy Alcaraz, I'm backing him all the way. Tomorrow, I think it's Zverev and Demona, and then you got Novak's versus Ruud.
Also a massive one. Those are my two quarterfinals that I'll have my eyes glued to.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun to watch. And I'm as a Rafa fan, it's anyone with Novak at the moment. I've got to try and protect his legacy. So Alcaraz needs to start catching up and notching up some majors,
bringing up his Spanish, helping his Spanish brother.
Correct.
Fight off the greater evils, hey?
Yeah, and then in the women's division, we've got Kukikov versus Zabir today, Swiatek versus Monjasova, and then tomorrow we've got Paulini versus Rybakina, and then Andreeva versus Sabalenka, who's one of the favorites of the tournament. Cool, she gets around, Sabalenka. I think she was at the Formula 1 last weekend. Loves a good
all over the show.
Yeah, no, often around there, and
good draws.
Yeah, very good draws
for the French Open.
The nice thing is when you see these, and look, there are a couple of outsiders, like Andreeva, for example, they didn't expect her to go that far. But if you look at the men's draw, you're seeing 1, 3, 7, 4, 2, 11, 9, 10. All
everyone's the highest rank is 11.
Yeah, so in a top 8. So you're not missing a lot of you are looking at the best players.
That's box office,
in the tournament. So very keen to see that. Roland Garros is always a lot of fun, and for a lot of tennis fans, the traditional tennis fans, at the end of Roland Garros means that Wimbledon's around the corner. And I was at Roland Garros last year. That's where the World Cup media zone was based in Paris. So
okay, I thought you were going to say you watched it. I was like, I missed that.
No. Yeah, I wish. Well, that was the thing. So we were based there.
At
so I've seen some of the corners. Yeah, we're actually inside the main stadium. Under the
tennis heritage.
Zone. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. The most expensive gift store in the world. Like, there was a jersey there that was, I think it worked out to about 10 grand.
Yeah,
1,000 rand. It was like you're talking about a couple of €100 for all the Lacoste stuff, and I almost bought everything. I wanted to buy absolutely everything.
Yeah,
the coolest gift shop in the world, by the way. If you ever want to see how to get merchandise right, go to that Roland Garros.
Bro, there's nothing I love more than a bit of sports merch.
Yeah,
I'll break the bank for sports merch. Stevie, let's quickly get into the predictions for this weekend. Though we're going to start with the Premiership final. We've got Northampton versus Bath. Have you got a score in your mind?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Northampton by 3.
I knew you were going to go Northampton.
I knew you were going Bath as well. You were going Bath.
I'm not going Bath. I'm going Finn Russell FC.
Yeah, you're going Finn Russell. Yeah. I'm going Courtney Laws.
And Thomas Latoy. Sorry, when he's watching this. I back you as well, Tommy. But Thomas the Tank and my boy Finn.
Okay. Cool. Locked in. Then we have got Glasgow Warriors versus Stormers this Saturday, I believe. Yes, Saturday at
Hopper State.
Hopper State, South African time. Hopper 7 my time. Stevie, have you got a score in mind?
I do.
You do have a score in mind. Okay.
I do.
As do I. 3, 2, 1. Stormers by 3.
By 6. Yeah, I know you're going to back
going again,
but
2 3-point wins.
I've got it back, and you know this from a while back. I'll go back my second team in the URC, which is Glasgow, my boys. And also a little pissed off at the Stormers because you're the reason we're not playing.
I do actually like Glasgow. I probably want them to win
it is,
next out of any of the other teams. So
look, I want to see Stormers win. You got to see our South African teams doing well.
I'm surprised to hear that, but okay, I'll take it.
No, I don't. It's good to see from a mentality point of view these players playing in big games and stuff like that. Like a Molly Leibach who's played in 2 finals and stuff like that. So like the whole idea he's not a big game player is a load of crap. So I like to see our South African players exposed to this kind of pressure. It's good for the country.
It's going to be a hell of a run if Stormers get the win here. Jeepers, they'll probably have to go 3 away games in a row, which would be pretty insane when you're considering the opposition.
Yeah, so again, but I have to start taking heart out of these predictions. So my head says Glasgow, so I'm backing Glasgow prediction because I think Glasgow at home are a different kettle of fish. I think Stormers travel badly, so I think it's a bad combo.
Fair enough. Hard to argue. And then last one, Proteas versus Netherlands this Saturday. The bogey team for the Proteas, and I think I'd rather play India. I'm just so glad that this isn't our last game of the group stage, as it was in the last T20 World Cup, where we famously bottled it.
It's getting to a stage where I said I think I'd rather play like an India or Australia in the World T20 final than Netherlands because we just got beat these guys.
So I mean, and on the pitch we're playing at the exact same stadium in New York. We're playing I think 3 different games there. So would it even out? I'm not sure. Maybe a couple more rollers. Hopefully they have some rollers in New York. But yeah, Stevie, have you got a prediction in mind? We're going to go runs then wickets.
Well, we're both going to South Africa, so we know that we're going to South Africa to win.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, then if you're not, then tell me now.
Well, let's go. Let's start with runs. I am ready.
Just runs, or are we going at the team by runs?
Well, team runs.
Should you start putting out a Netherlands win here? We're going to have to
3,
keep pod.
2, 1. South Africa 40 runs.
Yeah,
that's going to be big. And then wickets. Have you got one?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. 7.
SA by 5. Yeah.
Okay. So I've gone bigger.
Yeah, you've got bigger. You're backing us to not struggle, to break the duck, and to just clutch up. I think Netherlands are a decent side. Well, there's no real up. Wow.
Rich, because half of them are South African.
Yeah, I was about to say.
or Indian.
It's also wild when you think you've got England playing in this tournament, but we went with the Netherlands as the colonizers.
The Afrikaans manner. But yeah, no, it should be good. Hopefully the Proteas can continue their momentum, use that experience on this wicket. I'm not sure if Netherlands will have played on it by that stage, but at least what's quite nice to know is that they won't be traveling too much, which is nice. So the boys can rest up until this game on Saturday.
Correct. Dan, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Stevie.
And find something to keep me warm for the rest of the day. Might just be like under a blanket or something and avoiding the outdoors.
I wish I could say I was going to go out and catch a tan, but that'll be me next week. So when we check in, it'll be a pink face, bro.
Okay, looking forward to it. So enjoy the rest of the week, yeah? Enjoy the weekend of sport, and nice to have some cricket on the screens. And to everybody else, smash a like on the video, subscribe, or follow, or whatever you can do on the platform you are listening / watching this on. We are going to be jumping into the socials. So you can follow us on Between Two Fans. We'll be on Instagram. We'll be on TikTok. The usuals. You go and find us. Send this to your dog and show it to your dog's neighbor as well.
Over the fence.
Over the fence as well.
Send it to the dog's Instagram account.
Correct. Get your cats involved as well. Put it in front of the fish tank.
Yes. They need to know what's happening between Finn Smith and Finn Russell as well.
And the nice thing about putting in front of the fish tank is you can just put it on repeat, so they can just watch it for the first time every 20 minutes. Yeah. No, it's entertainment for them and views for us.
Yeah, correct.
Correct. So it's a win-win situation. But yeah, exactly. Dan, keep well. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, Stevie. See you at the next one.
Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Two Fans. And it is a very chilly morning here it's actually nonsense. I'm sitting here in sunny South Africa, very common sunny South Africa, with layers on layers, and Mr. Dan Scholz is all the way in the UK in his short sleeve. Well, I don't know if it's a short sleeve or the sleeves are pulled up, but wearing basically nothing. And this is not why I live in Africa.
Confirm.
Yeah, geez. Dan, I mean, for me, we started chatting. It was 0 degrees, gone up to 2 degrees. So that's kind of summing up my life at the moment. How are you?
You're on the upward trajectory, Stevie. No, I'm very well. I still yet to see a lot of sun in the summer. Lot of grey skies, but can't complain if it's short sleeves. But this time next week I will be in Sicily, so your boy will be cooking there. So not a lot to complain about from my side.
So we're potting from Sicily with a little background. What's the chat here?
We're going on tour. I may or may not be on a beach.
Oh, there we go. Jeepers. I mean, like I said, we're going on tour. I mean, I'm going to do that.
It's I'm bringing you with me, bro.
There we
Come
go.
to the beach.
50% of the podcast is on tour.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Well, Dan, lots of sport to talk about. Right, hello everyone, welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. Are we ready? It is do or die time. It is URC playoff time. It is Bulls versus Benetton, the first playoff of the URC that features the South African side. So an interesting game ahead. And last night we saw Munster not only a statement win, 23 points to 7, beating Ospreys. I suppose relatively comfortable, but considering that was sort of first versus eighth. Shows you that I don't think there's that much between the teams at the moment, and I genuinely think that there's upsets to be had in these quarterfinals and in the semis potentially. So are we ready to go? That is the question. I want you guys to get your score predictions into the comments and let me know who you are supporting. And obviously, I think we all want to see a South African side win, don't we? Comment people saying Bulls versus Munster. Loftus wouldn't actually, unfortunately, because Munster did finish ahead of the Bulls, so it would actually be over in Ireland. That would be the game, but it'll be a very cool final if that is the final to beat. So I think they need Munster to drop a game. Munster lose the semi-final next week, then the Bulls could potentially have that home final. So just making sure everything's working over here, stuff like that, trying to sort of settle in and get ready. And what did you guys think of the game last night? And we've got a lot of games coming up, by the way. We've got, after this game, it'll be Leinster versus Ulster, and I think that's going to be quite a good game. I don't think there's a lot in it for the two teams. So I think there could potentially even be an upset there. Because I think Leinster at the moment, I mean, look, in theory, Leinster pitch up, they get the game. That's pretty straightforward. But I think Ulster are trending in the right direction, and I think this Leinster side, mentally, for me, are a side that can potentially be beaten, and I think that they're a side that can panic a bit. But we'll see their pedigree later today, and then we've got Stormers versus Glasgow. I think that's going to be the big one of the weekend. I think that's going to be the closest game. I think that Stormers can get a job done there if they rock up, but it's going to be difficult. I'm going to go to the lines in just a second, by the way, and then have a look at what's cooking over here. Kickoff is in about 3 minutes time over here. We're trying to work out why we actually not seeing any action on the TV. So should it be already crossed over to Loftus? I'm sure we'll be popping over there very shortly. Weird not to have had. There we go. Right. So the referee today, by the way, is Mike Adamson, 40-year-old from Scotland. He's been refereeing in the URC for as long as the URC's been around, so he's very experienced. Is Mike Adamson. He'll be assisted by Sam Grove White, Adam Jones, and Ben Whitehouse will be in at the TMO box. And there it is. There's Loftus, and not a massive crowd in. Looks decent though, and I think it'll start to fill up here as we go. I think we'll have a very big crowd next weekend for that semi-final if the Bulls do go through here. But first things first, we got to go and get a result. And there we go, a couple of horns over there, the bucket hats, the buggers have got the glasses on. I'm seeing plenty of beverages. The brandy will be flowing over in Pretoria, and maybe who knows? Maybe even I'll have a brandy later or something. But we've got a long day of rugby to get through first before we can think about such ideas. So if we look at the teams over here, let's start with the home side, which is the Bulls. It is Chaos Dennekamp, Jan Kobler, and Wilco Low. They'll be backed up by Ruin Mark and Ruin Nokia completing that tied 5. Nizam Carl, Ulrich Low, Cameron Hanekom are the loose trio today, and halfback pairing will be in Bruce Pierre, newly got contract extension, but Bruce Pierre next to Jan Koos and Currie Arnser. Will be one of the key players for the Bulls. In the centres, they've got Harold Forster, David Creel, who's been very consistent throughout the season. And then we've got Sebastian Clerc comes in for Cam Mooney, and Billy who starts at full back. In terms of the bench, we have then got Akfana Mervis and Pierre Tanzima, Francois Klopper in the front row. And they'll be backed up by Reinhard Ludwig and Janus Kirsten, who hasn't had a lot of game time. But it's a good player when he gets going. So interesting to see how he goes there. And then the backline replacements are Keegan Johannes, Chris Smith, and Sergio Pearson, also somebody who's not had the most game time, but is a quality player. I really do rate Sergio Pearson very highly. For the men from Treviso, it is Thomas Gajo, Batista Benasconi, Simone Ferrari in the front row, backed up by Eduardo Chizdi and Federico Raza, who's a very, very good player. We've then got Alessandro Isakor, the captain today, Michelle Namara, Tua Halafihi in the loose trio. Andy Ewan will partner Thomas Albanose in the half-back pairing. Your back three for Benton are Onisa Ratave, Tomaso Menancello, and Rainer Smith. In the centres, it will be Malachi Fekitoa and Jean Ignacio Breck. So a quality centre pairing over there. Then off the bench, it'll be Jean-Marco Lecchesi, Mirko Spagnolo, Jesus Locci, Elias Neyman, Nicola Canoni, Lorenzo Canoni, Alessandro Garbizzi, and Jacob Umaga. So Benton's going with a 6-2 split, trying to sort of counteract that Bulls pack, really, and try and sort of cope with them by having a 6 forwards to come on in the second half, which has become very normal, isn't it? It's amazing how normalized the whole bomb squad in inverted commas has become. The fact that we're seeing more and more teams go to that 6-2 split on the bench. So I want to see what score predictions are, and common conclusion rates 26-24 to the Bulls. Yeah, we'll monitor what's happening with the cricket a bit later. I think that starts at Hoppers 4, if I'm not mistaken. Hoppers 4, Netherlands versus South Africa at Hoppers 4. We've also got the Premiership final, by the way, which we will be live for. That starts at 4 o'clock. So Carl will be taking you through that one. Yeah, so if you want to sort of just jump in between the various streams, that's going to be happening. And then obviously we've got Formula 1 on Ferry Motorsport channel tonight. They're over in Canada this weekend, is the Formula 1. And here come the Bulls as the Villaroo trots out to complete that team there, but captain by the bench. Ulrich Low, big game for him ahead. We one of the key players for the Bulls, and looking to try and get himself into that Springbok mix as well. Although a bit of an interesting situation where, you know, for example, the Bulls win today, they obviously get a semi-final, which is what they want, but a loss would then put them in contention to be in that Springbok squad to take on Wales in Twickenham in about 2 weeks' time. So it's going to be an interesting one to try and I suppose a bit of a win-win situation. But I think, you know, obviously that they ideally want to be in that semi-final, but probably ahead of winning of being in that box squad. Want to try and win some silverware. Right, and there it is. We have got kickoff, by the way, and Urin gets the headbands on and goes to the corner. Nice clearance there. Good. In fact, doesn't try to touch it, so Billy will keep it inside. Goes inside. Jan Koos will keep a bit of space. Goes back to Billy Lou. Billy Lou goes to that left boot of his, chips to the head, but Currie answer to give chase, and it's bounced towards Currie answer. Currie answer. This could be a try. It is going to be a try. How's that for a shot for the Bulls? Goodness me. Currie answer take a bow. Billy Lou, the assist king once again. And Stars do not get better than that. I mean, Jake White will be sitting in his coaching box, absolutely beaming with that start. Initially, I thought it was a decent clearance to me. It looked like he got a decent amount of distance, but Johan Koos is spotting the space and the perfect chip ahead for Billy Leroux. The balance of the rugby ball. What a thing it is. Let's have a look at this. So, bang, Jan Koos taking a bit of space there. Billy Leroux identifying the gap in behind, and then bang, bounces towards Currie. Look at the pace he's got, then bang, gets away from Randall Smith. And then over he goes. What a try that is. What a start that is for the Bulls. I mean, Simone's Ferrari there, he's trying to get back. And I mean, the tight is never going to flip and catch, Currie Lawrence, is he? No chance. Absolutely no chance whatsoever, unfortunately for him. Right, kick out from Jan Goosen, and no issue there from him, so he adds the extra 2. And yeah, starts go. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? Right, Thomas Albanor's got the restart there. That's taken well. And taking a bit of time as Brose up here. Pops it up to Wilco Low. So okay from him. Ball over the top there. Looking good. Looking promising. Sebastian de Klerk goes and contends. Getting it falls back to Cameron Honeycomb. So very good start this from the Bulls. Now Randall Smith. Under a little bit of pressure there from Harold Forster. Nice physicality from Harold Forster. Hasn't played recently. But he's a reliable player when he does. Now turn over here. Well, just inside 22-yard Benetton. Looking for a bit of space. There's Andy Ewan. Now the kick comes forward for the Lulu. Well taken there. Backed up by Albert Lowe and Jan Kobelos. So turn over. Almost a bit of snipe there. Looking for options there as Ambrose up here. Pops it up and it comes available. I think knocked on in the contact from Sebastian de Klerk. So we will have our first scrum of the day. Interesting to see how this front row battle does go. I was very impressed with what I saw from the Bulls front row last week when they gave, albeit probably a bit of a hungover, Oxen Chair and Vincent Koch, but they gave him a very, very hard time when it came to the scrums. As the player says, Bulls with a power start. And speaking of power, I think we're about to see a lot of it here coming from Wilco Low and Gerard Stennekamp. They'll look to try and make sure that the set piece is very important for them. All right, let's see what they've got here. Puts it under the feet there. Solid from Benetton, but now the shove comes from the Bulls. And I don't know if somebody's managed to get the ball out. There comes the penalty for the Bulls. That's a massive scrum. As I said, I think that this Bulls scrum is very, very powerful. Wilco Low, he's been a phenomenal signing for them. Probably the signing of the season for the Bulls. And winning the scrum is the call there. Penalty here for Villaroo. They're going to go towards the line. Then hear the pressure of the Bulls, and they'll just scrum all day, I reckon, if they can. And a bit of pressure there on the damn car, and that's done very well here from Benetton. They've managed to win the ball. Nope, penalty advantage here for the... Was it a knock on there? Knock on and try and turn it over here from Benetton. So it'll be another scrum. The Bulls won't mind that. They'll scrum on the 22. And they'll definitely look to try and get the penalty out of the scrum. Another big scrum there. Cameron Harnicombe going on the left-hand side. Yeah, so I'm trying to sort out something with the studio quickly. Ball available there. Zam Carr goes to the left-hand side. David Creel just goes himself and bounced off Albanose. That has another go. Now Ambrose Sapir looking for options. Goes to Harold Foster. Harold Foster. He finds Sebastian Kleck. Sebastian Kleck steps inside and tries the chicken wing passes. Well picked up by Harold Forster. And somehow he's managed to stay in as well. Ball's on the front foot. Cameron Harnicombe now. Looking to try and make it 2 tries within 10 minutes. Now Curson, they've got numbers. They've got numbers. Quick hands. Creel gets over one. Gets his hands through as well. Oh, we're close open in space. Quick ball here from Pierre. And the Sam Clark, good angle. Billy LaRue. Currie Lawrence looking for a second. Yo, that's great strength that he's shown there to stay in. Now on the right side, Johan Krobler. They're on the doorstep here, all the Bulls. Lots of pressure here now on Benton. Bosa Pierre going to Ruan from Mark. That's a nice solid carry from him. Now Gerson looking for option. Shields throws the dummy and over he goes. Then he throws it back aside. Oh, it's been turned over. Well, now Benton looking to try and run it. And Rado Smith's going to hammer it downfield and put in the chase. The right bounce could actually make it into a 50-22 if this were to fall out. Now it's going to stay in. Sebastian Kleck has to go all the way back. And he's going to try that little banana kick. Hasn't found a lot of space. That's brilliant work from Rado Smith. And not a good work there from Johan Gerson, who just short of the line and then try to pop it back inside. The right option here. Showed the dummy. Inches close. And then, yeah, it's a great tackle from Federico Raza. I don't even think he actually tries to pop it. I think it almost just gets knocked out of his hand here. Yeah, he was looking for the offload. They try and pop, and then Federico Raza just threw his hand in there to force that pass to go left in the turnover ball. So all of a sudden, the Bulls from being inside the 5-meter line and being so close, are all the way back inside their own half, and now Benson's going to have the first opportunity for them to attack. Fekitoa going to... That's a nice big carry from Fahi. Another right-hand side, bit of a dummy. That quick read there from David Creel. It's a good read as well. Needs to be careful not to get pinged for not rolling away. And on the left-hand side, they go once again. Good hands. Fekitoa. Finds a bit of space here. Goes inside. Is a corner now. He's a big lad. Now Fekitoa has been involved in a lot. And Michelle Lamar, it's a quick tackle on him. Now the right-hand side. Good ball flow there from Halafihi. Now takes into contact. Ball's coming through, but illegally so, according to Mike Adamson, not on side. So they have conceded the penalty. They're going to take the points here. Randall Smith, by the way, got the kicking duties today. So he's lining up the penalties, trying to get 3 points, get them within 4. It's a good kick that from Randall Smith. So he will add 3 points to the scoreboard. And it's actually good work there from Benton to stay in touch, just sort of apply a bit of pressure. Oh, that's another great take from Randall Smith. The ball's come backwards off him, though, and it will be cleaned up. No, it's been pickpocketed that by Cameron Honeycomb. He's got the offload away to Jan Kobela, and that's now been ripped. And has eventually been grounded here by Gajo. I don't know actually what the decision's going to be here. We have to wait to see what the ref is going to say. I'm not sure if this is considered get carried back or there's a knock-on in the mix. Yeah, not good work that from Randall Smith. Knocked it back. I think they're checking to see if there's a knock-on when he went up. So far, 59% possession for the Bulls, 65% territory. We have, however, only had about 11 minutes, so there's still plenty of time to go. Right, so a couple of words there to the second row there, I think, from the looks of it. And here we go. Finally, we'll have playback. And big scrum needed here from the Bulls. Potential penalty over here. It is a Benton put in to the scrum, but Bulls had so much power earlier that I expect them to be able to get the work done here. On the right hand side, though, it's much better scrum that from Benton. Bigger toe now at the crash ball there. New Zealand capped. Big carry that coming from Bernasconi. Ball available for Andy Ewan. And he'll look for touch and will find touch. Probably about halfway between the 22 and the 10 meter. Not a bad touch finder, but the ball's still on from the front foot here, so they won't mind that too much. But a much better scrum from Benetton, and that'll give them a bit more confidence. I think they'll be a bit nervous after that first one. The Benetton coach staff watching on, looking a little bit bemused. Not too many smiles just yet. It's been knocked on by the Bulls, and that's good work from Benetton to cause that break, that turnover. Now a bit of space there, and he's turned. I think it's Sebastian de Klerk. He's got him back, and he's got Villaroo for company. Gives it away to Villaroo. He'll go to the boot. There's a good chase coming there from, I think it was Menachilli who chased that, actually. And does find touch of Villaroo. So, yeah, I think the Bulls started off nicely, but credit to Benetton. They've responded from that try. Had a bit of desperate defense earlier on, so good to see from that perspective. But you just see just getting the line completely wrong. They didn't know if you wanted to pop it to Jan Kroblov. They're going for the running more. So massive miscommunication there. That's a much better line though. That's a good set piece there. And this time it is the big Halafi. He's going to carry a lot for Benton. Go straight to the boot here, does Ewan. Oh, that's been spilled backwards by Sebastian de Klerk. Goes back to Villaroo. He throws it back to Sebastian de Klerk. And he's been charged down. But ball's fallen back to him. And a bit of pressure. Albanor's there to manage to bring him down. Enough support has come back to secure that ball. Now Cameron Harnicorn. It's a good tackle there from Ferrari and Raza. Good physicality on display there from Benton. Nice pressure as well. A couple of mistakes creeping into this Bulls game all of a sudden. Now Bosapia will go to the boot. Has got the set for 22. Will find touch. But Benton will be feeling a bit of the better team the last few minutes. They're definitely growing in confidence. Another nice line on that from Benton. They said pieces actually looked a lot better. Their lines are looking nice. That's a nice little wrap around. Bit of space here. Albanors. And the big wing brought down Rotava. Albanors. Good hands from Brex. And actually, I take it all back. Not a great pass, but it's a nice wraparound. Figure that's actually worked out really nicely. He's drawn him past. And Menachillo looking at the options. Goes to the boot. And forced to pops it to Villaroo. Throws it to Sebastian de Klerk. It's a great ankle tap there for Menachillo. What a player he is. Yeah, good pressure from Benton going on the left-hand side of the Bulls. Chip over the top here from Villaroo. And it comes off the legs of Currie and back to Villaroo. So Bulls have retained possession on the halfway line here. Ball available for Ambrose here. Goes to the right-hand side. to run from Mark. Pops it up to Gerard Stennekamp. Now back inside. Carl to Grobler. Grobler with a bit of space. Grobler puts the ball over. It's great. Oh, good hands here. Ruin for Mark now. Ball in one hand. Comes back inside. Then runs over. Ball gets offloaded away to Creel. Creel looking for options well. Pops it up to Ambrose Pierre. He goes to Villaroo. Villaroo flat towards Clement Carnicom. He does hang on. Was that forward? I think it was. Yeah, there's great hands there from the Bulls. Couple of passes there slow. That didn't quite go to hands, but there was some great bits of intervention there. This time Carl there. With the pop there. Johan Grobler. Nice little pop up off the ground there from Machus, and then Ruin from Mock. Well, he's showing his skills here as well. A bit of pace, a bit of steps there. Very brought down awareness, but beginning off away to Creels. A nice tackle from Ignacio Brecht to really build, stop momentum. Right, Albanors will clear. Not a bad scrum that from Benton. That's a great clearance as well. He's found touch inside Bulls territory. That's a brilliant kick from the fly half. As I said, they've absorbed all the pressure at Benetton, but they're not crumbling under it. Number 27 in the URC top 100 is Thomas Albanors. Key player for Benetton. If they were to win today, I'm sure he would play a big part in it. But 4 points the difference so far, despite that really strong start from the Bulls. Benetton are very much in this game as we near the 20-minute mark. We go to the front of the lineup to run for Mark. Looking for the rolling more this time. Much better communication. Jan Grobler does have the ball at the back. Oh, Pembosa Pierre's clearance is charged down, and they've come away with it. Turn of ball here. Albanors looking for options. Skip pass towards Creel. Brex now. This is where Brex is so dangerous. Throws it out. Retave. Has he got the pace? Has he got the pace? He's got the pace. He's got the power. And a desperate tackle from Sebastian de Klerk is not enough. Benetton score. Benetton lead. And you can just see that, yeah, the charge down from Federico Razzo, I keep saying, is a world class. And it's going to be, yeah, when you see Brecht in this kind of space, he doesn't make bad decisions. He's drawn all the players in there, timed the pass to Retave. Sebastian de Klerk, it's a desperate tackle, but he's such a big man to try and move. Having a check, yeah, but I think we should be okay. It might be checking now the... No, we're checking the offside of the charge down. That's offside. It's going to be chalked off. Take it all back. Well, Charles going to be chalked off. That's a bit boring. Offside is the call. It's interesting how, if you go back a few years, you wouldn't have made that call. You look at TMOs, for example, they don't really go back to that kind of situation. But these days, they do check everything. So, in fact, it's going to be a penalty for the Bulls. The Bulls getting away with one there. Ambrose Pierre in particular getting away with one. Well, I suppose, he's offside, so it wouldn't have been charged on if not. But it's still a bit of a word of warning. Right, so the ball's all the way up to 22 here. Benetton's been to 22. And Jan Krobler goes to Hankom. Straight back to Rose Pierre. In the midfield goes David Creel. That's Harold Forster, in fact, with David Creel next to him. He's still going. Goodness me, how's that for a run? Out towards the 5-meter line. And Rose Pierre looking for options. Ball back inside. Currie answer. He's over and scored. Packs a punch to Currie answer. That's in second. And the Bulls, just after almost conceding, have responded with a try of their own. Good work that from Currie answer. Nice little inside ball there. And from that kind of range. He's a bit small, but don't underestimate the power of Currie answer. Just look at the inside ball there. Bang. And Malaysia Brace can't get anywhere near him. It's initially a good hit actually from Benetton, but he just spins in the tackle, manages to get the ball back down. Very good work that from South Africa's finest. Big Island series up ahead for Currie Lawrence. It's amazing how he's become one of our key players, scoring tries for fun. And that's an important try. It'll be such a knockout blow that for Benton, who thought that they had scored, they were ahead and were celebrating. All of a sudden, they tried chalked off. They've just conceded. So it's a pretty big swing when you think that it could have been 10 points to 3 up, and now they're 10 points to 5 up, to 10 points to 7 up, and now they're 14 points to 3 down. But they've shown how dangerous they can be. So, and the nice thing about Benton, they'll keep playing. They're not a side that I think mentally they're quite strong these days, and they'll keep playing. It's a good chase that from Brandon Smith, who's done very, very well. Oh my goodness, then he's been absolutely manhandled by Cameron Hanekom. Right, and now Ewan, after a bit of a caterpillar rack there, lifting it high, Hussen underneath it, up against the touchline. Vicky Toes there to make the tackle. It's a solid tackle as well. Presents to Rose for Pierre. Now Ruan Nokia, the captain. Lost a bit of momentum there, the Bulls. Good tackle, so Rose Pierre's going to go to the boot here. Yeah, and that's out in the full from Rose Pierre. It's a rare mistake from him. He's so good from the base of the rack. Don't expect him to make those kind of mistakes. So Benton now with this line just outside 22. If they can respond here, score a try, puts them right back in the mix. And that's nice to carry there from Benetton. Back inside, Benton goes. Trying to get to that go forward ball. Now Ewan goes to Albanor, looking for options. Goes to Brex. Flat from Michelle Maloro, who just very unforced error from him, knocking it on. Really, really poor from him. And you can see the frustration. No, in fact, it's not him. I take it all back. That is him. That's very, very rare to see Michelle Maloro making that kind of mistake. Such a good player, Michelle Maloro. Great leader, heart and sleeve type personality. Leads by example. And quite apart from anything else, he's just a good rugby player. Nobody else to really put it, actually. He's just a good player. Walter Whitboy saying, go Buller. Mark Sony with this trademark terrible dad jokes over there. But on the right side goes Varsity here. And it's not a great pass, but probably should have held on there space. The clock. Ball goes out and will Benetton ball. Not, it's weird. I mean, it's just to sit there and say that they haven't been clinical given the fact that they're 40 points to 3 up. But they had quite a few mistakes early on in this ball side. Uncharacteristic mistakes as well. That's nice hands. Almost a bit of a high tackle there from Currie. It's a good tackle in the end, though, from on Halafihi. Now, options. Renner Smith steps back inside. What a play he's become for Benetton. Played a bit of fly half, for example. Kicks for goal now for them. Now, Albanese breaks, looking for options, and that's not a good pass from him. That was a bit lazy, actually, from him. And Federico Razzo having to go back and absorb a few tackles as a bit of support doesn't arrive. Ewan's now going to go to the butcher. And it's not a bad kick, actually, on the bounce to Valiru. Looking for distances, Valiru. So not a bad kick either. He'll put the Benetton back inside their own half. Only just, but it is back inside their own half. Yeah, 50 possession. I was about to say 50-50. I'm trying to work out which team I think is on top. I think it's pretty even, to be honest. The scoreboard reflects the Bulls, but Benetton have been in this game. And their lineup's been very impressive so far. Now Ewan goes to the boot. That's a bit far, and Sebastian Clark goes up and will mark it. You know, good work from him. Yeah, I can just see that kick there from Ewan. Not really been as pinpoint as you'd like from the boot so far as the scrum off. There we go. With the back of the line once again. Oh, it's a big hit there. Kurt Lawrence has gone down. I think it's a head injury, so I think we might have to stop play here. Thomas Gajdo now, just outside. Nice big carry. Still going as Thomas Gajdo. Players are down here, and they head injuries. I don't know why the referee hasn't paused play here. Now a bit of an overlap. Federico Razza caught on the ball. Good read that coming from Broseph here. Ball available now. They're still going, yeah. Bernasconi. Nice big hit coming from him. Good momentum this year for Benetton. Now Gajdo, the man who really started this. Now Brex, almost through. Knocked backwards is the call from the referee. Ewan now goes to Albanese. Skip pass. Now Menanchilla with a bit of space. Comes inside. Good tackle that from Creel. That's just short, and the ball's been turned over. Jan Knobloch's come away with it. Rotava looks at the linesman to see if he reckons he can't. It's not a penalty or hands in the ruck there or something. But no call coming. And Broseph here will not clear the lines. He goes all the way back to Jan Goosen, actually. Jan Goosen with a bit of time. Will find touch. And they won't say quickly, but the referee is seeing the injury decide no. And look, this is now it's time to get a bit worried about what's happening with Kurt Lawrence, who is down. Yeah, he's going to off go on HIA. Right, well, the good news, by the way, is South Africa has worked. Won the toss, and they are bowling first in New York. So for the cricket fans, a bit of a cricket update there for you. Maybe you should get a little scoreboard in the top there. You know, got to support the lads. Also, others with dedication, by the way. Proteus playing cricket, and I'm here with the lads on the Watchalong, watching a bit of rugby. Currie, by the way, has made way off the park. And so as a result, Sergio Peterson is on. Hopefully, Currie will be okay. And a concussion will take him for 2 weeks. So, yeah, might be able to play the final if he does. I think it's about a 10-day stand down or whatever it is. Assuming it is a concussion, which hasn't been confirmed just yet. Now, good work this year. Menoncello. Such good work. Oh, that's a nice little offload. He didn't quite got a hand there too. Had he a bit lateral, then brought down. Good tackle there coming from Johan Krabbelaar and Albert Lowe. Now, Isaac, nice big player. Back down the left-hand side. Benton looking for a bit of momentum. Michelle Lamaro, the captain. Now, Albanors goes short to Bernasconi. Slow ball now. Albanors tries to chip chase himself. Bounces the ball. Bounces towards Willie LaRue. Picks it up nicely and sings it away to... Oh, goodness me. Retaves read that like a book. And he's hammered Sebastian de Klerk. Big counter ruck coming in now for Benton. Ball is almost available. Ambrose Pierre desperately trying to get it out. He does manage to get it out. And he goes to Willie LaRue. Willie LaRue looking at a bit of space. Sees a bit of space on that left-hand side. Won't find touch, but in fact, it's actually bounced more towards the middle of the park and has to go all the way back to get it as Menoncello, who then decides he's going to take touch here. It's a nice touch finder as well. Willie LaRue takes quickly, throws it back into Nizam Khan. Nizam Khan's got Jan Goosen next to him. He lifts it high in the air. In fact, Sergio Peterson now giving chase. And then penalty for the referee against the Bulls for offside. That's really poor for them now. Big decision time this year have been to do they go for the line out, which I would do actually. I think their line has been really, really solid. And it's still going, yeah, still going. Vikatoa! Vitova comes inside, and he's going to go... The disrespect in that dive is wild. Oh my goodness, look at this. That's funny. The Fijian. I mean, you talk about flying Fijians. That is a flying Fijian. Great line out. Nice carries there. It's the continuity. A ball comes a bit loose. Michelle Malora, that's a guy still touched. Bricks. Drawn pass. Ball over the top from Raza. Then steps inside. Benches. And then wee. Killed me. I'm over the game so far. But Benetton very much in this now. Nice response from them. Right, so we went to hear from, I'm not sure about Currie Lawrence. He has gone off for an HIA, so we'll try and give you an update as soon as we hear about it. Didn't look great, though. Moreno Smith now. It's been hooked. That's not a good kick, that, from Moreno Smith. So it'll remain 14 points to 8. No extra 2 points. And Federico Raza once again in the midfield there with some nice touches. Well, the sign of a good game is when it goes quickly, and we're already up to that 35th, 34th minute. So it has been a very interesting half. I think the Bulls have been... Yeah, in fact, I was going to say largely better side, but the last 10 minutes, I think it's all been really Benton. So 6 points is the lead. That's a much better take that from Moreno Smith. They have been targeting him from the kickoffs, but this time up to the task. Down the right-hand side they go. And Simone Ferrari, tackled by Nizam Khan. Once again, a bit of caterpillar ruck. And goes to the boot. Lifts it high in the air. Brilaroo. That's well taken from him. And well secured by the Bulls as well. So turnover ball here on the halfway line. Oh, that's a big tackle from Bernasconi. But I don't think there's any arms there. So he has been penalised. Ruan from Martin, not particularly happy with that. He came flying up to Bernasconi. It was a big hit, but not legal. And I think the Bulls over here, if I'm them, I would take the points. I think that they've been under a lot of pressure. I think Benton are growing into the game, so take the points where you can and just try and curb the momentum a little bit. So just, a bit of a grass cutter tackle. Ooh, I think it's actually almost a bit harsh. I mean, to say that the young Argentinian didn't wrap feels a bit. I mean, his arms were there. He kind of just got knocked out of his towards the back. Yeah, so I take a shot out. The ball's leading to the right decision. Just try and grab the points that are often. And Gajro, who was down for a bit, is back on his feet. An important player for them, Thomas Gajro. Such a cool player to watch. That's a good kick back from Jan Goosen. So Bulls will add 3 extra. $17 points to 8 with just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. It's been a good first half. Benetton would want to try and score some points before half time. And they would deserve it as well. They've been good. Stages of the game. Go down the middle of the park and really lose for scrambling a little bit there. Rosapia goes back to Jan Goosen. Jan Goosen puts contestable up in the air. Rotava underneath it. No, he actually leaves it for Albanors. She spins away very nicely. Good work there from Albanors. Ball available. On the right-hand side they go. Halafihi once again. Now on the right-hand side. Rana Smith, the first receiver, popping it inside to Azakor. Breaks then, just seeing off that, well, securing that ruck. Nice tackle there on Gajro. I'm looking for options. Goes to Menchelo. Menchelo finding himself a lot in the centers. Oh, that's a nice little hit there. David Creel eventually completing the tackle, but he's found a good few meters there, has Menchelo. Pick up and go from Rotave. Not the best idea from him. Jan Krobler trying to get his hands on the ball. Michelle Lamora now. Go through the phases. Yeah, 9 phases so far for Benetton. Now Halafihi up against touchline. Bernasconi now, the youngster. Goes himself, it is Albanors. Cuts inside 1. Bruno here making half the tackle. Now as a Bernasconi show and go. Brought down by Cameron Harnicorn. Lace as well. 12 phases so far from Benetton. Very good continuity this from them. Lamora pops it up to Gajro. Bricks goes himself, almost trying to get his hands through the tackle. Taking a bit of a while to arrive there is Urine. Now on the left-hand side, now they've all popped up. Now Simone Ferrari pops to Albanors. At the back, they're wrapping around. Rotava. Yeah, it's a nice big hit. Oh, he's still going! Look at the power! It's some. Oh my goodness! He's butchered it! He's butchered it! Alessandro got busy. What have you done? Oh no. That would have been a sure try. A sure try. Rotava does so well. He gets past 2. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Look at this. Bang. Sits down Sebastian de Klerk. Bang. Gets away from David Creel. And he just pops up. And all he has to just do is take it. Got busy and he's over. No one would have caught him. Look at the coaching staff. How's that for a reaction? That is diabolical. Absolutely diabolical from him. And from Mugabisi as well. I mean, they're such slick rugby players, him and his brother. Oh no, that would have been it. That would have been 17 points to probably 15, to be fair, because I mean, we probably would have been able to go under the polls as well. Right, so scrum now for the Bulls inside the 22. Oh, goodness. I just can't get over how close that would have been. Well, it would have been a try. How close it was. I'm going to have a reset here. And they pay a penalty for the Bulls. Kind of became a bit of formality, isn't it? It's penalty, scrum, penalty, the Bulls, scrum. They've got to put it in. They've managed to find that penalty. So it's working really, really well for them. Jake will be very happy with that. If you've got one of your set pieces functioning, like Benton have got their line at the moment, that's functioning really well. But this Bulls scrum is very, very powerful. And two international props struggling at the moment. And the clock does go red. So this will be the final play of the half. It's been an entertaining half so far. Bulls with the advantage share. And I think 17 points to 8. They'll take it half time. But Benton will also feel that they're very much in this game. So they'll be panicking at the moment. Bulls inside their own half here at the moment. Jan Cobbler at the back of the maul. Not really going anywhere. Once just the call and both peers come to collect. And nope, they're going to say thank you very much. And they'll just have to catch. Right, half time. 17 points to 8. Interesting half. Lots of rugby still to play though. Benton will be feeling that they are very much in this game despite trailing by 9 points. And we'll be back very shortly for the second half. Don't go away. Smash like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you in a few. Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Two Fans. And it is a very chilly morning here it's actually nonsense. I'm sitting here in sunny South Africa, very common sunny South Africa, with layers on layers. And Mr. Dan Scholz is all the way in the UK in his short sleeve. Well, I don't know if it's a short sleeve or the sleeves are pulled up, but wearing basically nothing. And this is not why I live in Africa. Confirm. Yeah, cheap. Dan, I mean, for me, we started chatting. It was 0 degrees, gone up to 2 degrees. So that's kind of summing up my life at the moment. How are you?
You're on the upward trajectory, Stevie. No, I'm very well. I still yet to see a lot of sun in the summer. Lot of grey skies, but can't complain if it's short sleeves. But this time next week I will be in Sicily, so your boy will be cooking there. So not a lot to complain about from my side.
So we're potting from Sicily with a little background. What's the chat here?
We're going on tour. I may or may not be on a beach.
Oh, there we go. Jeepers. I mean, like I said, we're going on tour. I mean, I'm going to do that.
I'm bringing you with me, bro. Come to the beach.
50% of the podcast is on tour.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Well, Dan, lots of sport to talk about. It's been a very long sporting weekend. Lots of very busy things happening. I believe. I played cricket this weekend. Did you play cricket this weekend?
Stevie, I did, and let me tell you, it was blockbuster. Let me just walk you through this. So it's last man stands.
Yeah.
For those who haven't played last man stands, it's 7 aside. Overs are only 5 balls long, and wides, after your first wide, they count for like 3 runs. And they also count towards the batsman, by the way, which is hilarious because you have to retire at 50, but half of you could be on 20 actually off the bat, and the rest could be wides. Essentially, defending 165. First of all, I was given out. Must have missed the ball by half a meter, but given out. So it wasn't a good start to the day, but we're defending 167. They need 5 to win off the last over, and then 3 to win off the last ball. They run a 2. The umpire says, cool, we can call it a tie or we can go to a super over. And then I'm not supposed to do this, but we'll just give the team an extra run at the end. So of course we're going to a super over. Are you mad? And in last man stands, there's a rule that if the last ball of your innings gets hit for 6, it doubles. So it doesn't
12.
work on any other runs. It's not like if you run 2, you get 4, or 4, you get 8. It's only a 6, you get double, which is 12. So our bowler's done unbelievably, bro. They're on like 5 off the first 4 balls, and then bang,
6.
smashes it, bro. 6. So it was like, now it's like 17 to win. We send in 2 Oaks. I'm like the third batsman waiting to go in case there's a wicket, fulfilling my square leg umpire duties. And so first couple of balls, I get 1 away. There's a 4 here and a single. We need 12 off the last, bro. Runs in, straight over the bowler's head, 6 runs. I just start fucking screaming from square leg umpire. Relinquish those responsibilities.
Yeah, dude.
And, what a way to finish the weekend, bro. Oh, it felt so good. I just went home and smiling with a smile. Went home sleeping with a smile on my face. Oh, it was unbelievable. So those are just my own triumphs, bro. Not that I was.
Nice.
And you? What happened in your cricket match?
tough weekend out here. We bottled our first game. We dropped a guy on 20, like a dolly. Dropped him again on 40, also a dolly. And I know the guy that dropped on 40 does listen to the podcast. So yes, it was a dolly. He has broken his finger though, however. So I do feel sorry for him. Not from the catch, from when he was batting.
I thought you were going to say that's good payback.
Yeah. So we dropped this guy. I was playing against a team. We only had 3 batsmen. We ran out the one without even facing a ball. We had the other one. We had them we were all over them. So dropped this guy in 20 and 40. He scores 99. So what should have been about 110 target at most ended up being 200. Which we came reasonably short. And then we had another team about 4 for 2, and in all sorts, we'd already dropped like 3 catches, but we are now playing in about 6-degree weather. It is literally raining. Having the absolute worst time of my life, but now we're all over these guys. I'm like, if we can get another 4 or 5 overs and we'll skittle these guys, because they were at all sorts. And then like, it's kind of spitting down. They're like, no, it's getting a bit hard. Like, bring the covers on. And we're like, listen, the covers are wet, eh? Like, no, bring the covers on. Bring the covers on. Stops raining. Take the covers off. Now the pitch is
soaking.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Like, well, thanks, guys. And then look,
match abandoned.
Yeah. So match abandoned. About an hour later, it was pouring with rain. So chances are you probably wouldn't have gotten a game in, but the way it was going, an hour could have been enough, to be honest. So we've got a big game this weekend. Sunday is basically effectively a knockout. If we can thrash the team we're playing, then we can go into semis. We win that semis, and you will see Steve tossing a coin at the DP World Wonders Stadium.
Wow.
That's what's on the cards.
That's absolutely massive. Bro, you see the pods on tour. You go to Wonders, I go to Sicily. Bro, we have our different, you know, our roles here.
I get Sicily if you want. Eh?
I don't mind swapping next time, to be fair. That's pretty cool. But Steve, unfortunately, we didn't make predictions on our own sporting achievements. We did on the big guns of the world. And let's revisit those of the ones that we made last week. For those who are new around here, Stevie and I are on the race to 15 correct predictions or prediction wins. And we predict on 3 of the hottest sporting fixtures of the weekend. Last weekend, we included the Champions League final, Stormers versus Lions in the final weekend of the URC, and South Africa versus Sri Lanka in their opening fixture of the T20 World Cup. We will be going through on the show the URC knockouts, the Premiership final, was to come with the Euros and a recount of the Champions League final, and then everything you need to know about the Cricket World Cup, its new format, and as well as touching on a little bit of Roland Garros. But Stevie, let's get into those predictions of ours. And the first one is a little bit confusing because we're kind of stuck in the middle. The Champions League final ending 2-0 to Hala Madrid as they lifted their 15th Champions League trophy ever. I mean, they're just masters of the competition, and Carlo is just ridiculous.
Don Carlo, bro. Don Carlo's back, dude.
Yeah, I think he should be. I think he should be upgraded to bro, because if he was South African, he would be Carlo.
So you got like Rassie Erasmus, you got Rassie, Jacques, Carlo.
Exactly. Carlo, bro. Carlo.
Imagine you're around South Africa and you just got to say, morning, What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. But Danny Carvajal and Vinny Jr. scoring their 2 goals in the second half there. Stevie, my prediction was 2-1 Madrid and yours was 1-0 Madrid. So we both a goal off. So I think we can I'm not sure, but let's go through the rest of the fixtures if we want to then revisit that. We might have to ask the audience who deserves that the win or the point for that one. Next one was Stormers Lions. I'm not going to get too much into the game because I think we're going to jump into that when we go right into the URC. But
yeah, I'm not going to go my
in score was 29-24. Stormers winning by 5 points. Stevie, my prediction was Stormers by 7. Yours was Lions by 10. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one in the second fixture. And the last fixture was South Africa versus Sri Lanka. South Africa ended up winning by 6 wickets yesterday. Stevie, my prediction was either 30 runs or 5 wickets. Yours was 22 runs or 4 wickets. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one. And you know what?
I'm taking that one, to be honest. Take it. You take up the Proteas.
Up the Proteas. Anything bigger for them. And this is an astounding. From 8-2, it's now 9-8, Stevie. The comeback, you are sliding.
No, but you're in trouble now because Manchester United are out of the predictions for a while, as are the Lions. So all my emotional picks of backing United to win and the Lions to win, that's finished now. So now emotion's out of it.
And at least we'll both predict the Proteas to win the World Cup. So we both in that boat sinking together.
One prediction a week is going to be basically the best of a bad prediction.
We can start to use our brains.
Yeah, no, I can actually start demonstrating my sporting prowess now, not just my unashamed bias towards my local teams, which are buckling.
Must be biased. There must be bias. This is why we're sports fans, bro. And speaking of this weekend's fixtures and a bit of bias, Stevie, let's dive right into the last weekend of the URC because I know I was giving the boys a lot of shit on on Saturday. I missed the Stormers game, but when I saw the result, I didn't realize. I mean, we completely wrote off Ospreys. We've done this podcast a complete disservice, just not even mentioning them in this top 8 race. Really, we had ruled them out.
They deserve to be ruled out. They should never have been in there for. They should never. Even the Ospreys fans are like, I don't know what we're doing there, guys. I don't know how we managed to do this.
Yeah, well, I saw the Stormers beat the Lions, but it wasn't like a massive win. Still getting a losing bonus point at that. So I was like, okay, well that should be enough because I saw Edinburgh got clapped by Benetton.
But that was the thing. Nobody expected the Edinburgh to get no points.
Yeah.
I said there was going to be a high scoring game between the Stormers and the Lions, which it was threatening to be. And
it was decent. You still, 20 something points.
But I was expecting to see both
like 40s,
teams walking away with bonus points and stuff like that. If there's one bloody game that Cardiff could just not be useless and win.
Oh,
maybe
it was such a good game. Such a good game. Even with that Tipperick try. Oh my word! I think that could be try of the season. I mean, what a finish! Like the hands to get it down, the offloads, and then just because it's Tipperick who finishes it off, it's like there's nothing more likable about that oak than anyone else in Wales for me. But Stevie, commiserations, and I was receiving a bit of hate when I found out that that was the Ospreys that snuck ahead of you on Saturday. I did find quite amusing at the time, but so let's quickly just get through some of the results and where that leaves us with the top 8. First of all, Leinster getting the job done, beating Connacht on Friday night in kind of mostly a second-string team, 1 or 2 first-team, typical Leinster first-team players slotting in there. And at that point, they were actually sitting top of the lob, I believe.
Yeah.
So it meant that the Bulls and Munster had to show up, which they both did. Bulls beating the Sharks 26 points to 14, despite the Sharks playing a very strong side, but I think they were all severely hungover and dehydrated.
Sharks played well, to be fair. I think there were times where Bulls didn't look as convincing as Bulls have over the season. Their front row decimated the Sharks front row, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Not something that you really want to see as a Bok fan. Right, and we are back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half, and a terrible start to the second half with Ambrose Pierce spilling the ball forward from kickoff, and immediately Benetton will have an early set piece. Just takes his eye off the ball before he really secures it. So a mistake that from Boris Papier. Score currently 17 points to 8 in favor of the Bulls, but a try would put Benetton right back in it, and they've been good enough to deserve one. So I think we've got a very interesting half coming up. So far, 2 scrum penalties for the Bulls. I mean, it says Benetton there, but it's definitely not for Benetton. I suppose it's conceded, but they don't usually use that as the stats. So an interesting one, that. But anyway, scrum over here for Benetton inside of 22. Can they make this early count? I mean, we saw the Bulls basically score by this time in the first half. So can they do that? This time Benetton have got the penalty, and I think they'll take the points here. 17 points to 11, puts them 6 points in there. Converted try will take them to the lead. So I think that they'll probably go with that. Would be my guess. And that's put the ball down here. They'll take the early points here. What a good start that is for Benetton, who will have to be at their best if they are trying to get past the Bulls. Bulls, well, I mean, you home ground advantage there. You got to start putting them under pressure. You got to start getting the crowd up. You got to start making them feel like it's Fortress Loftus, which I don't feel like they've done at the moment. 19,000 people in the stadium. Pretty straightforward attempt this year for Sergio Peterson. No issue there from him. Right, 17 points to 11. Benetton take first blood in this second half. Remember, this is playoff rugby. It's got nothing to do with bonus points. Nothing to do with the 7. If you're not first, you're last. Right, so Jan Huss now gets back underway. Once again, those down the middle of the park. They've been targeting Randall Smith. Good take from him. And almost a high tackle that. The Benetton players certainly asking for it. And Urin's going to go to Ikizi now. And now back towards... No, it's not to kick. Goes to Obnord's on the left-hand side here. Now they're shifting it. Brex comes back inside. He just glides around with the ball, doesn't he? Nation Brex. Now pops up and gets away to Figatoa. Ball over to Ratava, who's had a lot of the Bulls' numbers. And there we go. That's how you tackle him. And man, that size. And then Jan Kobler steals the ball as well. What a turnover that is from the Bulls. Quick ball here. Cameron Harnekom goes to Jan Kussen. Long pass out to Villiru. Villiru looking for options. Decides to go to the boot. It's pretty well placed over there. Now we've carried back, so it won't be a 50-22. I think it's actually just outside 22 anyway. But it's a great kick from Villiru. Just picking them back. Yeah, I was looking at the Bulls' line issues. They have had line issues. Bulls definitely had the better scrum, and Benetton have definitely had the better line out so far today. That's a nice big carry there from Halafihi. Now Urim sees a bit of space on the right hand side. Sergio Peterson, by the way, who's remained on, so no Kurt Lawrence for the rest of the match. It's a big loss, but it's a nice little carry from Sergio Peterson. Eventually straightens into the form of Federico Razzo, who makes a good tackle. Yeah, it's a nice kick from Villiru once again. Basically exactly where they were earlier. So just popping it at the top there. Saying that, back you go. Get your line going. Another thing quickly though, Benetton, and that's a great kick. Look at that. So some territory, and they're turning him all the way back. Needs to hit a bit of a... Yeah, the bounce has gone too far. Yes, Villiru's going to have a bit of time here and then just dive down. Not the worst result though. It'll be a goal line dropout for the Bulls. So Benetton will receive it. So that's not worked too badly from Benetton point of view. Right, here comes Nicola Canonic up on the park. And Garbizi's back on the park, yeah. So I think it looks like... So it was Fekitoa that went off earlier. He has returned after half time. But Garbizi's come back on. I don't know if he's come on for Fekitoa. No, I'm pretty sure that's Fekitoa in the mid. Oh, swiping up a goal. Has he got it? Has he nailed it? No, on the left-hand side. Albano is trying for the drop goal there. Ballsy. Ballsy. We've seen it happen a couple of times with the goal line dropouts. Right, now points to the sky. There is Alessandro Gobizzi. Oh, and almost caught by Albano. So there's a knock-on advantage for the Bulls. No advantage there for Mac Edmondson, so it'll be a Bulls scrum. So Nicola Canoni on for Iakizi. His brother on the bench as well, who I think is an absolutely superb player. Lorenzo, I think he's world class. I genuinely think he make most international squads around the world. I think he is of that kind of caliber. Very, very good player, exciting player. But being used as an impact player today. On a bad scrum now from Benton, looking much better now. Bit of a wraparound from Rose Pierre, brings it to Peterson, and that's a great tackle from Fekitoa. What a read that is. Matava right there to get his hands on the ball as well. And he's turned it over. That's brilliant, brilliant work from him. Tell you what, they've started the second half well at Benton. I don't know what the coach said at half time, but it's clearly working. Ball available for Garbizi. And Matava is down after that turnover. Federico Raza presents to Garbizi. Breaks the first receiver, looking for options. Goes to Fekitoa. Oh, there's numbers. There's numbers here. Albanors. Smith needs to straighten. Issacourt does. Ball available for Garbizi just outside 22 here. Benton with some momentum. Now Ferrari. What a great name for a prop. Garbizi. The wrap around there from Fekitoa. Breaks. Runs over one and gets the offload away. He actually nutmegs Halafi and then really kicks to the head, but it will run out. So a bit of a poor pass that. And the Bulls will sigh a bit of a relief there. And that's the end of Halapi. That's a big loss, although he's actually looking towards the scrum. So, towards his pack. So, not to be the end just yet. Such an important player for them as Halapi, especially with the back of these lineouts. You're seeing a lot of balls carried by him, and he's been really, really solid as well. A bit of a messy line, but Albanors comes away with it. Cameron Honeycomb, it's a good tackle. That's so well played from him. Almost managed the turnover as well. Basically threw him down to the ground so that he could then try again to the jackal position. Now Nicola Canoni, his first carry of the day, presents for Garbizi. Garbizi looking to go to the boot here. Garbizi, that's a nice box. He's just outside 22. Will be contestable as well. It's good to take that from Sebastian de Klerk. Rotave is okay to continue. Makes the tackle. Now Volko Low. Big carry there from the big tight head. Now deep kick that. And Garbizi's been hammered by Cameron Honeycomb. Good take that from the scrum off. And the Benton do get back. Halafi, there he is. Okay to continue. And Honeycomb taking a while to get up. He looks like he's in a lot of pain there. And a penalty for Benton as well. So they get away with that. Just checking what's happening with the cricket as well. But look, just to see exactly, and it looks like Netherlands are hammering Roberta. That's good to see. It's nice thing to turn on and see. It's a nice little lofted drive over the top. Not things you like to see, but hey, Netherlands 6 for 1 though. For 1 though, we'll take it. We'll take it. What are we saying, people? Sorry, it's a penalty for the Bulls, by the way. I thought it was a bit weird in the that it was holding on, but he seemed to point towards Benetton. So it is the penalty for the Bulls. They'll take the points here as well. And that's going to come around just enough for Jan Goosen. Not his best kick. Watched it carefully, did Jan Goosen, but that's a good kick in the end. Or good enough, I should say. Right, so the Bulls back on the board for the first time in the second half. Yeah, 20 points to 11. Under a lot of pressure, though. So Benetton will be frustrated at that, but they'll be buoyed by the fact that they've been really, really solid this half. Right, there is Lorenzo Canone, my boy. And they go towards Valerio with kickoff. Pops it up to Cameron Honeycomb. Charlotte Mara almost ripping the ball in the tackle there. Done very well to holding on in the end. There's Cameron Honeycomb. No, it didn't. I thought so. So scrum now Benton, and that scrum looked a lot better in the second half as well. So lots to be, as I said, lots to be pleased about for Benton in the second half. A couple of Bulls fans, not too nervous. Looks like they're enjoying themselves. Don't think they're panicking just yet. No need to be panicking. You've got 9-point lead. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of pressure coming from Benton. And that's been spilled forward from Benetton. So turnover ball here for the Bulls. Outward Low comes away with it. I think this is the first time I've seen Outward Low with the ball in hand today. That's a massive hit, though, but well held on by Nicola Canone. Now goes back to Jan Goosen, who clears lines. And it's bounced favorably for Ratave. He's actually sort of let it bounce out. Could have kept it if he wanted, but opting not to. Oh, you got to be joking. There's a wicket in the cricket, but there's a freaking no ball. That's so annoying. Right, Manacher. And there's a change at hooker as well now for Benton. A couple of changes here for them. Nice big carry that coming from Lorenzo Canone. And turnover on the ground. Not entirely sure it's entirely legal. Ball now available for Benton. Oh, the old Mr. River. I think that's harsh. It's a penalty for the Bulls for playing the ball on the ground. Michelle Lamar is not impressed, and I think fair enough. I'm not entirely sure that. I think it's actually something that got busy. He's been penalised, but I'm not entirely sure that's completely legal. Yeah, so that is now the Kessie, by the way, is on Jean Marco. Right, so going to go for policy on the Bulls. Again, playoff rugby, you take the points and offer. That's the main thing. Right, and from about almost the halfway line, just the side, so you're probably looking about 46, 7 meters on the angle here. Right hand side, not the hardest kick in the world, Jeff, for Jan Kursen. He struck it well, looking good. But sneaks down the right hand side. So Benton survived there. It remains a 9-point game with 26 minutes left on the clock. So plenty of time for Benton to come a bit of a comeback. But Bulls doing the right things here, where they are trying to take the points when they can. But at the moment, you do kind of feel that they're actually not playing a lot of the rugby at the moment. They've got a quarter settled when it comes to Benton in playoff games. They obviously lost that Rainbow Cup final a few years ago over in Treviso. Different kettle of fish when you're playing at Loftus, though. Bit of a kick chase here. Bit of space here for Albanors. Pop it up to Rainer Smith. Good tackle in the end there. Cameron Hanekom. He just doesn't have to slow him down. Now, Lamaro. That's a nice big carry there. A bit of space there for Rotava. He's going straight through. He needs support. It does come in the form of Alessandro got busy. He gets away from one. Right up against the touchline. Throws it back in field. Oh, I'm not so sure about that, Mr. Ref. Touchline is the call. This time Alessandro got busy was not knocking it on. And actually set somebody down there, which you don't often see. He's not exactly the biggest player yet, Alessandro got busy. What good awareness that is from Rotava. He's having an absolute pearl of a game. And then the offload, 2 got busy. It's the handoff on Ruin Nokia of all people. And Villilu, that's a really good tackle in the end. No, I'll take it all back. Boot wasn't touch. Good call from the assistant. Number 7 on the URC top 100, Otave. What a player he is. Pressure line. That's a decent line from the Bulls. Yeah, of course, some more clear. Took a bit of a while. Almost gave an opportunity for the charge down. Now Otave right up against the touchline. Now what's he going to do? He's going to run it hard. What are you going to do? He runs in space to Clerk, who hangs on well. Does well there, does the wing. Not at the best of times. Would have been really cool to have seen that Kane and Moody battle with Rotave. Now it's a nice carry there from Nicola Canoni. Got busy. Options here for Albanors. Goes to Bricks. Vicky Toa. Now Menoncello. Comes back on the angle. Gets away from 2. Still going. Still goes Menoncello. Now, good. Now it breaks to Fekitoa. They almost sort of swapped at the moment. Ball over the top towards Otave. Up against the touchline. Well, that's a high tackle. That's going to be a penalty, surely. And I'll tell you what, Jan Goosen, as tackles go, that is not a good one. That's a seatbelt tackle. He's a sorry as Otave. Yeah, not a pretty easy decision that from the referee. Yeah, no, I actually might be having a look at this, to be honest. Yeah, it's not a good tackle. Proper seatbelt tackle, and you can just see it's so dangerous. Yeah, it just hits it and then creeps up, and not and end up really. I mean, if anybody wants to know what a seatbelt tackle is, that's your prime example of it. Having a look at the highlights on EC Rotave, and there are lots of them. And it's a pretty good line as well. At the back, there's the KSC, about 50 meters out. Chad goes himself. Nizam Carr, nice tackle from him. Have to score here, Benton, really, to try and start capitalizing on the momentum that they're creating. Canoni now. Fikitoa back on the angle. Going through the phase here, Benton. Now Nicola Canoni. Keeping it nice and tight at the moment. Now, drifting inside here, this guy's Bricks. Quick ball to go busy to Albanose. Albanose gets through. Oh, goodness me. Sliced right through. Far too easy. And the fly-off's over. Well, there we go. They're back. They are back. Meanwhile, by the way, it's a phenomenal grab by Marco Jansen in the cricket. Artneil Bartman with the wicket there. Just to do a multiple sport watch-alongs. Have the premiership score on. Have the cricket going on. Just absolute chaos. And sees the hole that is Albanose. He wanted the ball quickly, and he's just slashed right through that defense. And that's Benton right back in the game. Kick to come to try and make it a 2-point game, and that's a significant 2 points as well. Fifth try of the season for Thomas Albanose. He knows his way around the try line. Right, kick to come here from Renner Smith. And it's a good one. Yeah, it is a good one. It's a 2-point game. That's exciting. 20 minutes to go. 2 points in, 20 points to 18. Yeah, it's such a good line being run by him. That's an interesting Bulls cap over there. The fans have brought on all the outfits today. Right, deep restart this time towards Renner Smith. He's got time to go to the boot as well. And will find touch. Good work from him. That's very, very nicely worked. Right, line there for the Bulls. And Akapanamoa was on in the park. So now Jake White turning to his bench for a bit of impact. We've seen the impact some of the Benton players have had. The likes of Nicola Cannoni's been very good since coming on. They have to use it though. Harold Forster in the midfield. Good tackle that from Albanose, the try scorer. Now, Wilco Low. He'll play probably about 65, 70 minutes. Now, Bro Pierre taking a while. Going to go to the boot here. And Ruin from Ark pops to Bro Pierre. Jan Goosen. And it's a good read from Ashal Mamara, but can't complete the tackle. Now there's a bit of space. Jan Goosen slicing through. And Bro Pierre. Long pass out wide. David Creel will get there in the end. And the Bulls are over. That's how they respond. That's a really, really big response from the Bulls. Yeah, I know they had to make a tackle there to Michel Lamaro, of all people, and he very rarely slips a tackle. And then Bro Pierre, he's always in the middle of the things that the Bulls do well. And Creel, it's a good finish in the end. Great work that from Bulls, and that's exactly the response you need. You've just conceded Benton riding on a high right back in the game. Bulls have actually done this a few times, to be fair. And they add the extra 2 as well. It's 27 points to 18. Yeah, the Bulls fan celebrating, and fair enough. That's it. Oh no! And then Villiers Rouge knocked it on. Jeepers me! You can't be doing that from the kickoff. You know, you build all this pressure, just scored. That's exactly what you want to do, and then you knock it on. Turnover ball here now for Benton, straight back on the front foot. Lorenzo Canoni. Solid carry from him. Now options here. Fikitoa. Keeping it himself. Lots of Bulls playing sort of defenders there for him to try and navigate through. Now, Menoncello. Available for you for our Sons got busy. Slow ball this time though. Good hands there. And Canoni takes it in. Nicola this time. Albanors. Bricks. And the basket is gone loose. Lack of nervous come away with it, but the ref's got all the way back. I think there's a penalty advantage. Or I don't know if it's a knock on there for the Bulls. Go back and see what the call is. That could have been interesting though if it wasn't. Green Bear, lots of green grass ahead of Akafanamerva, and he's no slouch with the ball. He's deceptively fast, is Akafanamerva. So there's a scrum, you have a Benetton, so it was a knock on in that interception. And there's Mark Alexander, the president of South African Rugby. Next to Willem Strauss of the Bulls. Another reset scrum. Yeah, 15 minutes left on the clock. 87% is the win prediction you have for the Bulls. So after this game, by the way, we're going to be sending you to Cal. And for the rest of the Premiership final. Then there is Leinster versus Ulster. So you can go and follow that on the channel. And then I'll be back with you guys for Stormers versus Glasgow Warriors at 8:30. Great game, I think. I think we're in for an absolute cracker later. Very, very excited. I think that's going to be, well, I thought that was going to be the big game of the weekend potentially. This has shaped up to a pretty good game itself. Now Gobby's going to the left-hand side. Can Benton get themselves back in the game? It's a good carry that from Menesha Bricks. Got busy, looking for options. Nice big carry that from Lekesi. He's hanging onto his boot and eventually gets to, he still goes, Lekesi, fighting hard in the tackle. Trying to get him down, eventually being told to leave him. Now Michelle Amaro, good to offload that. Bricks on the bounce to Renner Smith. Offload out the back of his hand, left behind by Fikitoa. He goes back and dives on it. No knocker at the moment, so Benton will have possession unless Creel's got his hands on the ball. No. Lorenzo Canone makes a yard or two. Really good work this from Benton. Big carry that from Nicola Canone. On the right-hand side now. This was good work here. 6 phases. Ball at the top there with a space for Fikitoa. And he's over. Kick to come. Big kick to come as well. Benton respond. They hit back. And I tell you what, we have got a proper game on our hands here at Loftus. Right, kick to come, yeah, a very important kick. This it's a 4-point game. This will make it a 2-point game, which means that any penalty, for example, would be enough for Benetton. And he's trying to cut it back inside, but it's not going to do enough. So it's a 4-point game. That's an important kick. As I said, that now means that penalty will not be enough for Benetton. They'll need more than just that. It's a good little pass to the top. And Vicky Toe's had a very nice game as well. Has deserved that. It's just the continuity, the pace of play that Benetton bring. Right, we're now Ludwig onto the park. So looking for a bit of a bounce from his bench here is Jake White. Just Jacob Margaret hasn't come on for bench, and they very much offloaded a lot of their bench. Jans Kirsten on as well, apparently, as was the Pima Tanzima. So very much looking now to just see out the last 12 minutes with his bench here is Jake White. And Rainer Smith has now knocked it on. So it's been a comedy of errors really when it comes to the kickoffs. Teams just aligning the other ones back into it. Very frustrating. Now pick up and go here from Creel. Good work there from Taylor Forster. And there, Francois Klopper, sit down, he says. Now prepare to Kirsten to Villaroo. Great pass, that's Sebastian de Klerk. Sebastian de Klerk with work to do. Good tackle by Garbizzi. And it was out as well. Really good tackle that from Alessandro Garbizzi. But it's, yeah, the kickoffs have really not been good enough. And again, it's such a coach killer. You score a try, you get the momentum, and you're thinking, cool, here we go. We can get back in this. And then you knock a ball on off the kickoff and just allow them straight back in. So frustrating, isn't it? As a coach, you just want to absolutely lose it with your players. Right, so it's the Benetton line out. Bulls will be very sharp with the fact that they're deep inside Benetton territory, inside the 22 here. Right, Alban Oars will clear. And won't fight touch though. And really chips over the top there. It's slightly too deep though, so it will be marked by Alban Oars. Yeah, it does mark it. And from the restart, does find touch. Good touch by it, actually. Puts them back inside with Bulls territory. And Bulls is about seeing this game out. That's the big thing at the moment. It's, the game's there for you. Hucker found the moment down the right-hand side. Good work from him. On the front foot chair, the Bulls course and go short to Unuk here. Now, Alric Lowe. He's been star of possession so far this year as Alric Lowe. Still available yet from Brace here. Now, option for LaRue. Put the kick in behind, and it's a great kick. It's an absolute perler. He's turned Jacob Umaga and found touch, and that's just game management. That's the experience that LaRue brings in, Just realizing that they're not really going forward. It's about running the clock down, forcing them back, puts the kick in behind onto the 22. Great work from him. Front of the line out. Good take that from Benetton. And Lorenzo Canone. Oh, it's a big thumping hit coming from Janus Kirsten. Now got busy going to the boot. Tester here for Sergio Peterson. And they've knocked it back towards Benetton's side, have it. So Benetton have come away with it. Backwards with the call and then out. So they can quickly take, almost know about taking quickly to the Bulls, but then sense prevailed and decided to slow it down, which is what they need to be doing. And Menoncello's down and receiving a treatment. So just about 7.5 minutes left on the clock. They're really taking their time here. I'm not quite sure what the delay is. And Benton there just having a bit of a huddle. So I think it's still the injury to Menoncello that they're still sorting out. Right. Back on, and off we go. Bulls with the line out halfway between the 22 and the 10-meter line. Just past 10 meters, rather. They got the front of the line out. Good take that from Rand Ludwig. Akron over. We once to the call. Good defenses from Benton. Goes himself, Akron over. Good tackle there from Charles Lamar, but presents to Brosa Pierre. Bulls with possession. One more try, you think would do it. Pops it up. It's a good work there to go from Brosa Pierre to Turtle Peterson. Not on the right hand side. Harold Forster at first receiver. No penalty. They're still going there is Harold Forster. Eventually placed it for Alred Low. Penalty advantage, I think, here for... nope, yeah, there was a penalty advantage for the tackle. And they'll take the points here with the Bulls. So that could be a bit of a sucker blow to the Benetton chances. And he'll take all the time in this world. He's got another 50 seconds to take this kick, Johan Kussen, and he will take every single second of those. That's a good kick there from Johan Kussen, and then that brings the 3 points up. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a massive miscommunication. Once again, they made a hash of the kickoff, and this would be a scrum from Benetton. I don't know what it is about these kickoffs, but no one can get it right at the moment. You can just see the miscommunication there. Janus Kirsten there, I don't think was expecting it, then decided to go for it. Gets it completely wrong, and it goes straight through the hands. Right, just under 5 minutes of the year. Benton have to score here and convert it. That would then make it even. We could even have potentially extra time here. Right, got busy looking for options. Goes to Brix, the first receiver. Brix Runs it hard and true. That's a nice carry from him. Front foot ball here for Benetton. Quick ball from Got Busy. Albanese goes himself. Scored a try earlier in the game. Got Busy now on the right-hand side. So I carry that from Nicola Canoni. Lakesi down. Bricks. Nice solo carry once again from him. Starting to come back on the angle here as Albanese. Pops it up to Terenzula Canoni. 5 meters out here, Benetton. Looking pretty positive as well. Albanese looking for options. Goes to Jacob Umaga. Comes back inside. Gets away from one. Gets the offload away as well. Still 5 meters out here, Benetton. They need a scrum off. Eli Sneyman there. SA born. Playing for the SA 20s. Now pick up and go from Nicola Canoni. Yeah, converted try will take us to extra time. 8 phases so far. Clock creeping down though. Just over 3 minutes left on it. Got busy looking for options. Oh, that's a massive tackle on Isakor. That could be a bit of a change of momentum in this. Now Albanese spinning on the tackle. Wasn't the best pass. Looking for options. Albanese going back on the angle. Slips the tackle of Leonard Ludwig. Eventually brought down by Janus Kirsten. Bull slipping a few tackles, yeah. Quick ball from Got Busy. Brexing a bit of space. Then runs back into the traffic. He's played really well as Ignacio Brix. Now Fikitoro this time. Fighting hard in the tackle as well. Scored the last try. Desperately trying to rip the ball in the tackle there was Creel. Got Busy now. Michelle Memoro, the captain. Isakor now. Bouncing off couple. Got breaks. Nice and flat. Loses the ball. Turnover ball now. Sebastian Leclerc kicks it ahead. Jacob Umaga going to have to go all the way back and retrieve it. The bounce will keep it in though. Gets the ball back inside. That's a great take though from Minicello. Minicello now. Chips ahead. Oh, what a take that is from Ruan Nokia. I tell you what, that could be match winning from Ruan Nokia. That's brilliant from him. Sapir Matanzima now. Ulrich Lowe, pick up and go. Huge moment that in the game. That could be it, actually. 2 minutes still to play. Still a bit of time. But I tell you what, Benton was looking so good there. And then just one missed pass. And now the Bulls taking their time. It'll be a bit of a caterpillar ruck here. And Bruce appears and can't kick this as far down as possible. Keeps it in the infield, yeah. Sebastian de Klerk will give chase. Jacob Umaga spills it forward. To turn the ball to Sebastian de Klerk. This is perfect for the Bulls. 1.5 minutes left. Not a good pass at all. Back towards Villu. Has to go back and fetch it. And then Ignacio Brex has kicked it ahead. And he would have won the battle there against Ertl Peterson. But there was a knock-on advantage. They'll go back for the knock-on. And that will probably be the game. Just over a minute left on the clock. And you can see some very, very worried Bulls fans breathe a big sigh of relief. They've been given a scare today. As I said, I don't think these quarterfinals are as straightforward as we can maybe expect. I do think there's an upset in here. Maybe that could be an Ulster versus Leinster. Who knew? And a bit of break and play. Yeah? So teams having a chat. Right, just over a minute left on the clock. When we do start, it'll be a scrum for the Bulls. They'll look for a penalty and kick towards the corner. Well, I suppose they could just take the points, actually. Run it down even more so. Nice and square is what Mike Aston has to say. Taking their time here. Ball's Scrum's gone down. The ball will be available. No, we're going to have a reset. That suits the Bulls just fine. And now some shoving on the ground there. Francois Klopper having a go at his man. And I'll just run down a few more seconds. Right, so the Bulls through. They will have a home semi-final next weekend. So the show does go on for the South African teams. We'll wait and find out if the Stormers will join them in the semis. And that'll have to wait for a bit later. Jake White barking into his walkie-talkie. His job is pretty much done, though. And he'll now be watching he'll put his feet up after this, watch the other quarterfinals, do a bit of analysis, and get ready for next weekend. And on the right-hand side, they go to Creel. And they've ripped it in the tackle here. Oh, there we go. A bit of late drama, maybe. Oh, but a penalty against them. So that'll be it. That'll be it. Well, they tried to roll the dice there, did Benton. Didn't pay off. The hooter is there. They'll take a quick tap and pop it into the corner. And the Bulls will go marching on. Right, well, there we go. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Benton putting up a really good fight, but they are through. They progress. People, thank you very much. I'm going to send you over to Carl. You can go join him for the rest of the Premiership final. Then you're going to come back here for Leinster versus Ulster. And then we're going to see you guys at the Glasgow versus Stormers game later. So lots and lots of rugby. And then after that, I'm going to send you to Formula 1 as well. So basically, just keep it on the channel and we'll send you where you need to go.